Whoops. Okay. Vblog 1.4. Okay.
All right. Hey, everybody. It's Thursday night. You know what that means. Coffee with Cowlazars and K-Pro. So welcome, everybody. Today is Thursday, November 15th. And I thought we would talk about the hidden message in the poem that some of you may know about and some of you may not. And actually, I'm on your channel for some reason. Christy, let me switch over real quick. I don't know. That's how I was viewing it. It was in your channel. So we'll give a couple minutes for everybody to show on up if they want to. But I got the split screen because I'm going to show you guys the poem on the other half here. So that's why it's set up that way. So how's everybody doing today in the chat room? Two can keep a secret if one of them's dead. That's right. It's already there. World famous gamer, how you doing? AJ Rainville, William, Olaf on the river, Joel Lewicki, K-Pro Thor's in the chat room.
She is.
So Rocks, David Dow, Davio, Jose Zamora, Redneck Express, Moo right back to you. Finally made one live. I've made a couple live, one or two. Throw the Treasure, H Purd. What's up, chumps? Flannel shirts, that's right. It's chilly in Vegas. You guys might not know that, but it's a desert. It does get cold. We get down to about 30 degrees at night.
I was going to say, how cold is it today?
It's in the 60s, but when I get out of work, the sun's down. See, I refuse to turn my heater on. My heater never gets turned on, unless maybe my boys are over and it's really cold. But, yeah, I just throw on something like this. So.
Yeah, really cold. Okay. I used to live in Kansas. When it got -10, that's it's all relative, right?
Well, hey, I'm from Michigan, so yeah, I'm used to negative degrees with the wind factor. I used to have to walk to school in that weather in the morning.
Uphill. Both ways.
No, it wasn't that bad. It was only a block, but still. It was in Detroit on 8 Mile, so I wasn't worried about the weather. I was worried about other things. Gary Sandberg, Steve Smitherman, and Sir Crow. All right, everybody. I see the usual suspects are here. Let me change over real quick to something.
I think we should preface this with, I have not been allowed to see what you're doing tonight because I'm going to off the cuff respond. I did not go into the vblog. I did not cheat. I'm going to be as surprised as everybody else.
That's right. Christy has no idea what we're going to talk about, and that's what I wanted. I wanted an honest opinion from all of you and from Christy. So if you guys think it's just a dumb idea, hey Brad, how you doing? If you think it's just a dumb idea, let me know. Lisa, how are you?
Oh, we're going to be brutal. We're treasure hunters.
Yeah, right. Pretty much. Well, of course, if it matches your solve, it's great. If it doesn't have anything to do with your solve, well, that's horrible, right? I know how it's going to go.
Confirmation bias. That's all we're about.
Right. All right, so we've got 67 watching right now, so I guess that's good.
Hey, Rick.
And super chat's on, everybody. In case you have something you just have to have everybody to know that you said or a question, the super chat's on if you want to do that. I'll try and get to the questions, but since I'm going to be doing this in the poem, I might miss some. So I made you. Oh, thanks, Thrill the Treasure. They finally made a live broadcast, so that's cool. Broadcast. Illinois Ghost, how you doing? I'm competing with HQ Trivia. I used to play HQ Trivia and never won it, not once, even with a hint, so I got pissed off and I haven't played it in a very long time. Do you know what HQ Trivia is? Mm-hmm. It's a pretty cool little app and it's free. They pay you to your PayPal account if you can answer all the questions. But yeah, some friends of mine it won like $3 or something because so many thousands of people win. But
so I didn't have a PayPal account until I really, really, really wanted a stinking coin. That tells you how far.
And then you got, I got you.
And then I got one. I figured it all out. So no, I'm not that advanced at this stuff.
It wasn't a coin. It was a lot of coins, wasn't it?
No, I initially bought one coin. And
that's
then
right.
that one.
That's right.
What do you call them? That one knucklehead.
Knucklehead
made me mad. And then I got 20 coins. And now they're just there. Well, there's a lot less now. FedEx or UPS goes out tomorrow, y'all. There's about, 8, 9, 10 flying around the country. So
and where are those
go out tomorrow. One's going to Jonesy. I don't have your address yet. One's not going to Jonesy. One's going to Sean Malloy. One's going to
that's right.
A Toby gift. That's all I will say. Somebody else is helping me out with the silver coins. That's
going
cool. out.
Okay.
Rick has one. Rick's is going out. There's just they're everywhere.
Cool. Okay.
Yep.
What was I going to say?
Don't know.
Oh, were we going to announce the winner of a contest for tonight, or do you want to do that at the end?
No, one a week. One a week.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. It's on your channel, not mine. I was thinking this was the week. It'll be Monday night. That's right. All right, I got confused there. All right, everybody, here we go. So I'm going to bring up the poem. I hope everybody can see that. And what I did is I took Mr. Forrest Fenn's poem and I put it in Excel. Why Excel? Because they have these little boxes you can put the letters in nice and neat. And what I did is I left justified it. And what that means is I just slid everything over so it lines up nice and neat on the left-hand side, okay? And I made it bold. Hopefully you guys can see that. Looks okay. There's a delay in the stream, so I can't see what you guys are seeing yet, but hopefully it'll come up in a minute. And this is the whole poem, all 24 lines with punctuation. I don't take the punctuation out. Yeah, right. Although I think the same thing will happen if you take the punctuation out. But when Forrest, I can't remember the context of when Forrest said, "Don't mess with my poem." I can't remember what the question was that somebody asked him. And he said, "Don't mess with my poem." I thought what they were going to do was try and add letters back in. In other words, he's got some abbreviations in here. Now I can't seem to find one, but I thought there was an abbreviation, and somebody said, "What if we spell the word out like I've, I-V-E?" They said, what if we make it I have done it, tired, and now I'm weak? And he said, "Don't mess with my poem." In other words, don't add letters back in. So we're not messing with the poem in that regard at all. The poem is exactly how it is with the punctuation. All I did was left justify it. And yeah, these are the lines. So what we're going to do here is what I did is I separated the first stanza. Because, in my opinion, the first stanza just might give us the word that is key. In other words, the first stanza tells us what to do in the rest of the poem. So, are you ready, Christy? You ready for this? You got an open mind?
I'm opening my mind.
Everybody ready in the chat room? Davio, I will not be on next Thursday because next Thursday is Thanksgiving. So, one, everybody will be too loaded from turkey to watch and half asleep. So, no. Next, I think we are going to go on Monday night, correct? This Monday.
Oh, yes.
But there won't,
stuff going on.
But there won't, I hope we talk about the maps a little bit. But I hope, but nothing will be going on the rest of the week because it is a holiday.
Well, are you going to maybe go live? Well, never mind.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. It depends what's going on for Thanksgiving. You never know. Maybe I'll just surprise everybody. I'll just go on for 5 minutes and say Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. That would be cool, right? Kind of?
That would be cool.
All right. So the first stanza, check it out. "As I have gone alone in there." I, of course, is Forrest because he's writing the poem. But what if "in there" means the poem? What if it's referring to the poem? So let's write this over here on the side. "As I have gone alone in there." Where? In the poem. And with my treasures bold, we'll come back to that. I can keep my secret where? Where? In the poem. There's a secret in the poem that we've got to figure out. You know, Forrest keeps saying, go back to the poem. He says it over and over again. Go back to the poem. "And hit of riches new and old." So as I have gone alone in there, the poem, and with my treasures bold. Why is treasures bold? Not the treasure that's in the chest out there in the Rocky Mountains that we're looking for. But why is the word treasures in this poem, why is it bold? Bold meaning conspicuous or to stand out. Or how is that word treasures different than every other word that's in the poem? It's different because treasures is the only word that has 9 letters in this poem. It stands out, it's bold, because no other word in the entire 166-word poem has 9 letters. As a matter of fact, there's no other word with 8 letters. All the other words are 7 letters or less. Okay, so the word treasures, which I'm going to unbold it, is bold because it's the word that's key. He's trying to point out that the word treasures, there's something going on to bring it to our attention, and that is that it's the only word with 9 letters. Now, he could have used the word treasures over again, like riches could be another word for treasures. Trove down here, gold. There's a lot of other places where he could have used the word treasures again, but he didn't. He only used it once. He only used it in the first stanza, and he calls it bold. So I think it is the word that is key that he talks about, okay?
Treasure is the word that's key.
The word treasures, plural, just like it is in the poem, 9 letters. So how does that help anything? I mean, what does that do? Even if that's true, what are we supposed to do with it? Well, the last line of stanza 1, and hint of riches new and old. There's a secret in the poem, and the hint is that riches is another word for treasures, new and old. This treasures in stanza 1 is the old. We've got to find the word treasures in the poem again. That's the new. 2 times. Treasures 2 times. Okay? All right? You with me so far? I'm not even watching the chat room. All right.
No, the chat room is just anticipation. It is amazing where they're at. Actually, this is kind of cool. Okay, keep going.
It's just don't mess with my poem over and over again, scrolling through the chat room. Am I messing with it, or am I just doing? All I'm doing so far is just saying what we know we should be in tight focus with a word that is key. So all I'm doing is trying to point out why the word treasures could be that word.
So you've asked me to be critical. Up to this point, I could not. It seems very reasonable. It seems very logical. He said to be logical. You're not messing with this poem. I do not have to be the chase police and give you some quote that you've messed with this poem. So far, you are allowed to continue, Mike.
All right. Not messing with it yet, but I think we're going to get there. Because some of you will absolutely hate this, but keep an open mind. And maybe this is the one thing that we're all missing. Who knows? So... okay, so what do we do with it? Let's go out on a limb and say the word treasures is the word that is key. And it's bold because it is 9 letters. Well, how does that help us? I mean, what are we supposed to do? Well, we use it on the rest of the poem. So in line 2, when it says begin it, where warm waters halt, it is the word that is key. It is the word treasures. So you could replace it with the word treasures. Okay? Begin treasures where warm waters halt. Well, how do you do that? I mean, what are we talking about? Begin it where warm waters halt. Treasures starts with the letter T, right? The sentence ends with the letter T. So we would begin the word treasures on the T in halt. And what we're going to do, and then what do? Okay, you say begin treasures where warm waters halt. There's a T at the end of the sentence, but then what do? We take it, remember it is the word treasures, and take treasures in the canyon down. We spell the word treasures down crossword style in this poem. Where warm waters and canyon is just like a placeholder. What's really important is that the line ends on the T and that take it in the canyon down, he's telling us what direction to spell the word in. Not far but too far to walk, period. To me, the not far but too far to walk is saying you're not going anywhere yet. This is stay on the couch. This is all in the poem. We're not walking anywhere yet. We'll get to that point. And again, I think these 9 clues are landmarks out in the Rocky Mountains. I'm not saying they're not, but I think this might be maybe a confirmer or something we're supposed to figure out before we ever go. Okay? So it is the word treasures. Begin the word treasures where warm waters halt. On the T in halt. Take treasures down the poem, in the canyon down, spell it down in the poem. Not far but too far to walk. We're not going anywhere yet. So if the T, and what I'm going to do is unbold this so we can see it. If the T in halt is where treasures starts, well, then what's the next letter we're looking for, Christy?
Treasures. T-R.
R. There we go.
R. Mike, what do I win?
So T is bold, right? Right here. Now, how do we...
You should make it a color. Make it, because I can't
tell. Oh, okay. Gotcha. How about red? Is that better?
Red.
All right. Okay.
Make it red.
How do we take it down? Well, the next letter we're looking for is R. Now, isn't it interesting that if you left justify the poem, that the punctuation, there's no line in this stanza that goes beyond the T in halt. There's punctuation, there's a space, and there's a punctuation. Okay, and then we go into the next stanza. From there, it's no place for the meek. So the first stanza told us the word that's key is treasures. The second stanza told us what to do with that word to start it on the T in halt. Remember, this is all one sentence. Begin it where warm waters halt. That's telling us to start on the T and take it in the canyon down, not far but too far to walk, period. The next sentence is, because we're looking for an R, right? We're looking for the R in treasures. Put in below the home of Brown. Well, there's an R in Brown, right? So we could say that could be the next letter. But right here, he tells us put in below the home of Brown. So what that's telling me is skip this line. We're going to put in, if you look it up in the dictionary, put in can mean study or give time to. So we want to study the line below this one. And if you happen to notice, the period lines up right under the T in halt. Just like the 3 lines above it.
Wait, why did you skip not far but too far to walk? Why'd you skip that?
I didn't skip it, but he's telling us don't, because it's part of the same sentence. Begin it where warm waters halt and take it in the canyon down, not far, but too far to walk is one sentence.
Okay.
He's telling us where to start it, the T and halt, and he's telling us what to do with the word. How do we spell it? We spell it down, the canyon down, and not far but too far to walk because we're not going anywhere. This is in the poem. The next sentence, put in below the home of Brown, is saying put in below. So we're not going to use that sentence, but we don't have to because the period ends right under the T. Okay? So it's not like we are skipping the sentence, but we're skipping it because he tells us to, because he said put in below. I'm not even looking at the chat room, but here we go.
Don't look at the chat, Mike. Trust me, don't look at the chat room.
I made a vlog on this over a year ago, but it wasn't very good. I kind of rushed through it, or maybe I concentrated on the wrong thing. So I thought if we did it live, maybe it would make more sense. Maybe it wouldn't. And then there's also new people in the chase who maybe have never heard this theory before. All right, so we're looking for the letter R, right?
Yes.
From there, it's no place for the meek. So we need an R in this line somewhere. And right here, he's saying, in the word there, he's saying the R. We're going to use the R in there because he's saying from the R. Okay? So this is the R. And it's wordplay, I guess. The T in halt, because we begin it where warm waters halt. It halts on the T. The R in treasures would be from the R. Then we need an E. And right here in the next line, the end of is ever drawing nigh is the E in end. The E. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to slide these lines so that the word treasures is spelled vertically down crossword style. Okay? And I know there's a delay, so it's kind of hard to follow along.
I'm totally with you.
All right, all right.
Now, do we want to go through the whole thing before I give my critical feedback?
No, give it as you go. Give it to me. Go ahead. Tell me what your thoughts are thus far. Because I know stanza one was okay, but go ahead.
Stanza one's okay, and I'm even with you to the T. But, and now, first of all, I will say, and especially the chat room that's having a little bit of fun, anybody that puts their opinions out there and puts some theories out there, especially when they're a little bit outside the box, I say kudos to you, Mike. So, but here is my honest thought.
Yeah.
So it seems like you're skipping 2 and 3 because of confirmation bias. It's not fitting your solve.
The line 2 and 3 in stanza 2.
Yeah, you're saying, and take it in the canyon down. Down means go away, and so the third line is a part of the set. I'm summarizing.
Yeah, I got you. Well, if you notice, and take it in the canyon down doesn't have the letter R in it. There is no R in that letter in that line that we could use.
Right. So then the next line. I'm with you.
The next line says put in below the Homer Brown. He's telling us don't use this line.
Not
put
far,
in,
but too far to walk. Use the R.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I got you.
But you're saying it's a part of the same sentence. I'm not saying it's wrong because who the hell am I? I don't have a treasure chest, but I'm saying it seems like a stretch.
I got you. And I understand what you're saying.
Good imagination, so I don't want to stifle it. Keep going, Mike.
All right. Forrest is probably just shaking his head right now. Like,
you know what? Forrest is going to go, it's awesome. You actually have imagination, and we're talking about content. He's going to go, right on, brother. Keep going.
This is definitely imagination is more important than knowledge. But wait until the end when you see how it lines up, because that's the part that always makes me go back to it.
Wait, I'm excited right now. Okay, keep going.
So let me see if I can actually change this, like I'm saying. So what we're going to say is we're going to use that R in there because it's the R. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let me see if this will work. Yeah, that will work.
Easy.
What?
No, people are judging, and
I know, and I know that's going to happen. That's okay.
A treasure chest, and then you can say something's wrong. Other than that, you just have hypotheses.
So when you go ahead. So when you see it like this, you slide the line over in order to spell the word treasures below it using the R because it says from the R. And isn't it weird that stanza 1 and stanza 2, there is no lines that go past that T and halt. There's punctuation, but there's no lines that go past, which to me is just interesting. But okay, whatever. Okay. Let's keep going. Okay, and then I'll slide the E and end over for TRE. So we're going to copy that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Okay. Is this right? Yeah.
Slide you're exactly right. Let's let him get the whole thing out. I'm going to hold off my opinion because it may change over time. It may evolve over time. I'm with you, Sledneck.
TRE, and now we need an A, right? Okay. Right. Now, again, there'll be no paddle up your creek is saying don't use this line because there'll be no paddle up your creek. So this line, we slide it to the left, just like the lines that are above here that weren't used. He's showing us in the first stanza and the second stanza that when you don't use a line, just put the punctuation below it. Okay? So no paddle up your creek. We slide it back. And right. No, actually, we got to go back this way. Actually, I may have to move that. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there's not enough space. All right, hang on. You slide it out of the way, basically, is what we're doing.
Yeah, you're lining it up. You're doing the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
I just need more spaces here.
It's kind of like word search. It is. It's like a crossword.
Yeah, right. So
I'm
maybe.
I'm trying to do the chat room.
Okay. Maybe.
Wheel of Fortune. Okay,
maybe Forrest is a big crossword person. Maybe that's what he likes. I don't know. It's possibly. Has anybody ever asked him? Does he like crossword puzzles? I know I never have, but would he answer?
Let's see if he puts out a scrapbook tomorrow about crossword
puzzles. Wouldn't that be funny? All right, let me close this down to get it back. Okay. So the T in halt, the R, because it's the R, the end, the E in end. There'll be no paddle up your creek is saying don't use this line. There's no paddle. So we slide it back so the punctuation is under the E, just like above in stanza 1 and stanza 2, okay? So now we're looking for an E, for an A, right?
Yes.
Heavy loads and water high.
Wait. Why are we skipping
TREA? TREA. Because there's no paddle up your creek. He's saying don't use this line. There is no paddle up your creek.
Okay, so down and paddle.
Okay. Right. Put in below is saying don't use this line. And that line you don't have to slide. That line ends right here anyway. Right?
Okay.
There'll be no paddle is saying skip this line. And now we're looking for the A in treasures. TREA. And which one? Now there's an A in heavy and there's an A in loads, right? Plus there's an A in water. So we've got 3 different A's we could use, right?
4 in that line.
1, 2. Oh yeah, and the A in hand.
Whatever do we do, Mike?
But see that, and this is where it breaks down a little bit because there isn't really a clear indication. Because for the R it was the R, for end it was the E in end. But here there isn't really anything that says A. Use this A or use that A. But there is a pattern, and I'll show you what it is right now. So we're going to use, and actually I'm trying to remember which one to use.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know. Let's try.
There's a great vblog on this from about a year ago.
Right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe it's the A in loads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
All right. You are funny.
I'm not even watching the chat, everybody. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. Instead of sliding it, I've already got it set up. So we'll do it like this. We're using the third letter, the A in loads. Then we need an S, the S in Y's. Then we need a U, the U in your, and it's the third letter in all these words. The A in loads is the third letter. S in Y's is the third letter. U in your.
It's all about threes.
Is he?
There's 3 marbles. There's 3 guys playing marbles and.
Okay. Yeah. It's a rabbit hole. We're down the rabbit hole, everybody.
3 is a rabbit hole for at least a month. I'm with you, Mike. We're
all right. The R in Marvel, and maybe that's why it's such an odd word, Marvel. All right. And then where are we at? The E in chest. Now look, check it out. Right here, as you go down. This line doesn't reach. Oh, so why is it that a must go doesn't reach all the way over here? So we don't use that line. It's only the lines that actually go under the T.
Okay.
And then and then we're looking for an E. And if I remember right, it is. Oh, the halt. Seek. The E in seek. Let me see if I have that right. I think I got that right. So if you line it up, check it out. This will make it a little bit easier. Let me go down like this. Yeah, the S in seek. Okay, so once you see that, Christy, so there's the T in halt. We don't take it in the canyon down. Spell it down in the poem. Not far, but too far to walk. We're not going anywhere yet. Stay on your computer. Write this out by hand. Do whatever it is you got to do. Don't put in below the Homer Brown. So don't use the Homer Brown line. You're going to put in below. And remember, that period ends under the T. The R in there. The E in end. There'll be no paddle up your creek. So we're not using the paddle line. Slide that back so that the punctuation is under the E, just like the punctuation is up here above the T and below the T. Okay? The A in loads, the S in Y's, the U in your, the R in Marvel, and the E in chest. And if you notice, it's the third letter in every single word, right? So there's kind of a pattern there, kind of.
Kind of.
So why is it that okay? So why is it must I go does not reach? So we don't use that line because it doesn't reach all the way over. And the S and seek, you don't have to move. The S and seek lines up without having to slide it. Now, isn't it interesting that the T and halt and the S and seek kind of are the beginning and the end of the word treasures? It's just a weird little. Could it be coincidence? I guess, but to me, it looks a little bit like a pattern. Okay, so we've done what he told us to do. We found the keyword in the first stanza, which is treasures. It's bold because it's 9 letters. He said, begin treasures on the T and halt. Take it down in the poem. Not far, but too far to walk. This is in the poem. Don't go out and search for the treasure yet. And when you do this, there is a message. Are you ready to see it? Where it is?
I can't wait. Yeah.
Okay. Now, you could probably look all over the way the poem's lined up right now and find different words. Maybe you find a word down here and you find a word up here and there's something spelled diagonally and all that kind of crazy stuff. But to me, that's random, okay? If you look right here, you've got the, and I'm going to change this to green. The, and then you've got the that goes down into a cross pattern, the. Okay? So to me, that looks intentional. Try, green, try, one letter up, the, and one letter up, the wheel. That is try the wheel, which people may have heard about. Try, let me get that bold. Try the wheel, but that's not all of it. Try the wheel, WYMT, Wyoming, Montana. So let's look at a couple things. Can it just be a coincidence? I guess it could.
The thing's delayed.
Yeah, I know. Okay, and that's the problem. Is I knew you weren't going to be able to see it in real time.
That's okay. It's like going as like it's processing in my brain the words. Oh, don't look at that chat room, Mike. Trust me,
yeah,
don't
I know.
look at that chat room.
I'm sure I'll get all the emails tonight and tomorrow, so that's okay.
There is one question as this is catching up. I will ask.
Yeah.
Several people have said, "Are you giving credit to who gave you this idea?"
Yeah, that's right. This isn't my idea. The idea's been around for a long time, and it may have been on Chase Chat. It may have been on. It probably was Chase Chat back then. I don't know. And I'm not sure the person that originally came up with it. It might have been Seeker, but I might be wrong with that. It might be incorrect. But it's been out there for years. It's been out there for over 2 years. So it's not like I'm spilling a secret or anything.
Well, it's like my Holocene thing. Everybody asks me, like, you say it all the time. Why is it? It's like, that came from Yoda on Chase Chat. I mean, I say it all the time that I don't give credit every time. But it came up a couple times, so people ask. So, okay, now everything's caught up.
No, the way this is going, I want it to be Seeker and not me. I may have that wrong. I can't remember. It might not be Seeker either. So I might have that wrong. Somebody, I'm sure whoever it is will come out and say, hey, I was the one who came up with this.
Well, if it goes well, they'll take credit.
Yeah, right. So, treasures spelled this way. Try the wheel. And it's interesting that each one is one letter above. They're all right next to each other. I mean, if there was a word up here and then a word down there and a word over here, that's random. But the is spelled as in a cross.
Wheel.
The this way and then the that way, to me, seems intentional. And 3 letters starting above, and then wheel, Wyoming, Montana, because that fits our search area. Doesn't it just seem like it's intentional? I mean, is it coincidence? What has Forrest Fenn said? I felt like an architect when I wrote that poem. Every word is deliberate, and it took me 15 years. So a crossword style puzzle, to me, makes sense based off of what he said. Now, don't get me wrong. You still have to find out where warm waters halt in the Rocky Mountains. And the blaze is out there. All that's still valid. I'm not saying this is the blaze or this is how you figure out where the treasure is. But I think maybe this is a confirmer, or when he said the person who finds it will walk with confidence, maybe this is what we were supposed to find first before we go boots on the ground. So what do you think?
You basically have just ruled out 2 states, is what you've done.
Yeah, that's true. That's possible. Yeah, that's true. If you want to say that this is intentional, then yes, that would be correct, right? Sorry, New Mexico people. I was one for 2 years, but and what's right on the Wyoming-Montana border? Yellowstone, right? Yellowstone Park.
Now, why does it try the wheel? Why isn't it try the states? Why isn't it try like what is the
Right. Well, how does
quote
wheel
of
relate? I mean, if we don't know what to do with it, it doesn't help, right?
yeah, like
Okay.
what is wheel? I actually there's probably somebody in the room that's freaking out right now that actually there's two people that I know
They're
their skulls
solved.
revolve around a wheel.
Okay.
Two people, and one
So
of them
check it
hasn't
out.
talked yet.
I'm going to show you. Let me line this up right. So yeah, that's the first thing when you see it. Yeah, sorry. When you see it, you go, well, what does that mean? I mean, how does that help? So let's go to Google Maps, right? And we go to Google Maps and we get into our search area, right? There's our 4 states. But the poem said Montana, Wyoming, so I'm right here on the 2 states. And if we put in wheel, Montana, Wyoming, let's see what comes up, right? And I'll give it a minute to catch up. So it's try the wheel. So I'm just assuming the word wheel is what's important. He's saying try it, try the wheel. So wheel, Montana, Wyoming. And look what comes up. So I'll zoom back out. Wheel, Montana, Wyoming. Okay, so it actually took me right there. So somewhat relatively close. Yeah, it's delayed. Relatively close to the Montana-Wyoming border, there is the Bighorn Medicine Wheel. Now, what is that? What is the Bighorn Medicine Wheel? Let's check it. And it's related to Indians, which is, it all ties in, doesn't it? The Bighorn Medicine Wheel. Now, nobody's never heard of what a medicine wheel is. Have you ever heard of that before, Christy? As far as like Indians and a medicine wheel? You have. Oh, there's somebody, I see. There's probably a solution you've heard of that incorporates this, right? Okay. The Bighorn Medicine Wheel. So how do we know this is what he meant? I mean, when I put it in at work, and it's probably went right to Bighorn Medicine Wheel because I've looked that up before. When I put it in at work, all kind of wheel, like a bicycle shop came up. There's a big wheel type bicycle shop that comes up in West Yellowstone. All this other stuff comes up, but they're all businesses. And he's not going to use a business because that could be gone or in a year or 10 years. But this Bighorn Medicine Wheel has been there for years and years. It's been there over 200 years. And if we look at the pictures here, check it out. These are rocks. They believe the Indians built it hundreds of years ago. And it's a protected, it's a National Historic Site that's protected. Now, I'm not saying the chest is here. He couldn't have buried it there, or not buried it. He couldn't have hid it there because it's protected. I don't think you can get around this gate that goes all the way around it. But maybe we use the wheel in some way. And maybe that's what points us to the correct Where Warm Waters Halt. So right here's the sign, welcome to the Medicine Wheel, National Historic Landmark. The Medicine Wheel is at least 250 years old, but Native Americans have occupied the region for over 12,000 years. And what I've heard is they don't know who built it. If it's only 250 years old, you think they would know who built it. But from what I've heard is it could be 1,000 years old and they have no idea who built it. That's a rumor I've heard anyway. And look, there's Forrest right there. No, just kidding. There's a guy walking right here with binoculars on.
Okay, so to be clear,
yes.
Mike put this out a year ago before I even knew him. So the person that shared some stuff.
Right, yeah. I haven't talked to Christy about this at all. Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah. I knew nothing about this. Right. My texts are blowing up. I knew nothing about this at all.
Okay. And that's true. She didn't. She didn't know about the hidden message in the wheel. That's why I'm telling everybody, because there's a lot of people who don't know about it. So a couple things. Let's go back to the poem. This is the Bighorn Medicine Wheel, right? If we go back to the poem, what does the last stanza say? It says...
What does the last stanza say?
Why is it that I must go, leave my trove for all to seek? Okay. The answer I already know. I've done it tired, and now I'm weak. The medicine wheel. He's tired, and now he's weak. What does he need? Medicine. So hear me all and listen good. The Bighorn Mountains. Bighorn. Hear me all and listen good. Your effort will be worth the cold. That place is cut off in the wintertime. You can't get up there because of the snow. And if you are brave and in the wood, brave could be a play for Indian. And in the wood, there's, I believe the fence that they've created is built out of wood that goes around it. I give you title to the gold. So let's go back to here. So what do you think, just initial impressions there, Christy? So here it is right here. This gives you, and see, brave and in the wood. So these posts are made out of wood. Now, I don't know. I don't think the posts are a part of the original medicine wheel, but I'm sure those posts were there in 2009, 2010 when Forrest hid the treasure chest. So what do you think? Could it be a
Oh,
coincidence? Let me put it that way. Could it be a
oh,
coincidence?
of course. No, but so here's what I do with things like this.
Hmm.
Could it be a coincidence? Sure. Could it be confirmation bias? Sure. But are there some coincidences that you go, wow, that could line up? I've
Right.
heard some really good things about certain words that you have talked about that makes it go, wow, it's a little bit more than just ignoring and saying like,
Right.
I mean, I'm glad you brought at the beginning. I do have to say you
Yeah.
lost me for a little
I
bit.
know. I know.
By the end, yeah, I'm going to pack up boots on the ground. No, I
Uh,
think it's interesting because I have talked to some people that have some things similar, and
right.
um, not because of this. And this has been out a year. And so, did anybody catch on? Like, really got into it because of what you like? What
There.
vlog is this?
This is vlog number 9. If I remember right, this is
Number
vlog number
9?
9. That's right. The
Oh my
word that is
god!
key. Number 9, the word that is key. But I don't think it came across very well in the video. But I do know, and I believe the person that originally posted it has been to the Bighorn Medicine Wheel, but they thought it was hidden there somehow. And I'm like, he couldn't have used that spot. I think because this is a circle and it has these like spokes that come off it, I think he was using the circle as a compass. So in other words, somehow this circle was telling him which
You need to
direction to go.
stop.
I don't know.
Okay, so I just got a text. Can you please shut up, Mike, right now? like,
Hey, hey,
I,
if this is part of anybody's solve, you should have found it by now. That's all I'm going to say.
totally is.
Yeah, right.
No, actually, it just helps confirm. I think I would.
Maybe this isn't the right wheel. I mean, maybe the message is intentional, but this isn't the right wheel. Maybe there's a wheel in Yellowstone. For people who have been to Yellowstone National Park, is there something that you could say, try the wheel that it fits? I don't know. But when I put in wheel in Google Google Earth, Google Maps, this is what comes up.
Somebody wants to pay you super chat to be quiet.
Yeah, I see. Is that Paul? That's funny.
It's funny.
But Medicine Mountain, I'm tired and now I'm weak, and it's like wow.
Well, but here's the thing. Somebody asked it a little bit earlier. Do you think that the average redneck is going to be able to line all that stuff up? I mean, it's not too advanced, but is it like, okay, I went into really specialized knowledge with periodic table and Nez Perce and each battle, and you had to know the battle of this and that, know all the history. This isn't quite that, but is this too far? Too far specialized.
To me, it's a simple crossword style puzzle. I mean, and I'm sure nobody's pointed out, or I'm sure somebody has pointed out, where Forrest said ciphers and codes and all that stuff is not going to help. To me, it's not really a code. To me, a crossword puzzle is a crossword puzzle, a code. I don't think that's a code or a cipher. It's a crossword puzzle. It's a game that we've all played.
Quote, I do not believe he says the term anagrams.
No, he does not say anagrams, and there are anagrams in the poem, which people have talked about. But the other thing is, I know another argument against is that people are like, well, he's way down here in Santa Fe, and how did he make 2 trips? But if he was up here at the Cody Museum, because we know he donated a lot of stuff, if him and Peggy are at a hotel in Cody, the Medicine Wheel is 2 hours and 30 minutes from Cody. And I've got it on Google Maps if you see it there. So he could have made that trip in one day.
Does anybody know in October that he was actually at Paradise? And have you gone and talked to those people? I have.
Paradise? What are you talking about?
Oh, that'll be for.
I don't even know. I don't even know what you're talking about.
There's a little ranch because some people know that Peggy is not the camping type, so it need to be a little cabin. They have cabins where they provide all the food, all the things. Ask Chip. Chip, his cousin. Ask Chip. Chip knows.
Really?
That's who we need to get on live is Chip.
So yeah, 2.5 hours from Cody. They could have been up there, Buffalo Museum. He leaves for the afternoon. He drives over here. And then if I zoom in, you do have to walk a little ways. Check it out. This is the parking. And I'm not sure how far that is. I don't know if it tells me. It's like round trip, I believe, is 4 miles. From the parking lot to the Bighorn Wheel and back. If I remember from when I was doing research back then, I believe it's 2 miles there and 2 miles back. So could he have walked that twice? I mean, yeah, he could have.
Right, but okay, that's where I'm going to differ from you because I actually have a song very close to this. That is not necessarily where he ends.
Oh, right. That's true.
Yeah,
that's right. He may have never went there. This is not where the treasure chest is hidden, in my opinion.
This would be too far to walk, and then you jog your way in, and if you go to the actual trail, the trail is 0.5, 0.6, and 0.7, depending on which trail you take.
I guess what the road is that gets you there. Forest Road? Sorry, just a play on words. But if it's true, if he intentionally put that in there, how could we use this medicine wheel? And what's funny is directly west of this medicine wheel is Yellowstone Park. So if you want to say you could draw an eye on the wheel and you go over, or is it Yellowstone is all the way down here, but I mean it's right here. It is west. It's quite a ways away.
Another question. Let me ask you another question, since I'm supposed to be the critic, and I have this whole chat room that's going to help me too.
Right.
So a year ago, you were planted square into New Mexico, and you weren't up north, and you had this fabulous information. Why on earth were you up north or in New Mexico when you had this information that is groundbreaking that could bust this entire thing loose and make it a foot race, Mike? Why?
At the end of Vlog 9, I say what I thought. I was stuck on Wheeler Peak in Taos. Try the Wheeler Peak. Now, I understand the WY and the MT are there, but I was still stuck in New Mexico. So I thought it was, Olga, where he drops the ashes and all that, is in that area, Wheeler Peak. So I always thought Try the Wheel was Wheeler Peak. But borderline biddies, we've always talked about borders. This isn't on the border, but I mean, it's close. Whoops, as I just get off it. Yeah, so that's kind of it in a nutshell. I don't know how far it is from the border, but the border's right here. So try the wheel, the bighorn medicine wheel. Hear me all and listen good. I've done it tired and now I'm weak. Now, it doesn't, could it be a coincidence? There's 166 words in that poem. So it could very well be a coincidence. But that they're all lined up just like this, the is a cross shape right here. Try the wheel is right next to each other, one line above. Yeah. It's just, it makes you scratch your head and go, is Forrest really the sly coyote that we think he is? He's that smart. It took him 15 years to make the poem. He said every word is deliberate, and every word has to be deliberate for this to line up in this way. And he felt like an architect when he wrote the poem.
Well, and some are saying it messes a little bit too much, and that's okay. And the techniques, I've always tried to rule out any of the wording and lettering and all of that. But this was I had thought when you said don't look and all of that, that I thought, okay, it's going to be so outlandish. I thought some imagination, but it's for the person that has a very quantitative mind, I'm not ruling it out. So
somebody just said, is that messing with the poem? Is sliding lines to the left and right messing with the poem? Well, it depends. If he says take it in the canyon down. If you take the word down, everybody has to make up their own mind on if this is messing with the poem or not. But to have the message that's right next to the word treasures that we lined up, treasures is the only word that has 9 letters, which is why it could be bold in the poem.
The whole 9 letters thing, you got me. I wrote that like 9 letters, WYMT. Word that is key. I mean, there's some good stuff here, and of course, Bighorn, because that's where my general area was for my.
Oh, is that right? Oh, I didn't even know that. I didn't know that.
I know because I didn't share it with you.
Not the medicine wheel, just the Bighorn Mountains region. Or it was the medicine wheel.
I'm
okay.
Not saying exactly. So, because I'm going to go relook at this now.
It is interesting, right?
And I think this goes to the point of you have 114 vlogs. I got to go back.
Right.
I got to go back and look at some of those.
Well, I thought borders was a hint because he went to borders twice and borderline biddies. I always thought the book was trying to say borders. This is kind of by the border. Yellowstone is right up in the border, right? By the border between Wyoming and Montana. The other thing, which I should do, which I haven't done, is go in the thrill of the chase and see how many times he mentions the word wheel. If the message is try the wheel, maybe he's pointing to something that's back in the thrill of the chase. So I'm going to do a search on the word wheel, if it's even in the book. I'm sure it is as far as driving. But, it's definitely interesting. Now,
and I want to make clear that some people are like, oh, Mike's saying this is absolute. I didn't hear any of that. All I'm hearing is Mike's throwing out an idea, just like last week or earlier in the week, he was throwing out, what if this? Some people are saying he said absolutely that. I don't deal in absolutes, and that's one thing when Mike and I talk about this. There's nobody with absolutes except for Forrest, and he's messing with us when he does.
Right. So well, the message is in the poem. That message is there. The question is, did Forrest intentionally put it there, or is it just coincidence?
Or is it a red herring? Did he do it on purpose?
Oh, that would be horrible to throw people off.
don't. Well, you love breakfast tea and bourbon. That guy was like red herring.
I know.
King of the world.
But for him to go to this trouble to intentionally put it in there if it doesn't mean anything, I mean, why would he? And who's going to find? I mean, somebody did find this, so somebody figured it out.
Has how many scrapbooks out and how many versions of books out? You're wondering if he's
okay. Somebody go through all the scrapbooks and see how many wheels are in those scrapbooks. When it says try the wheel, is he trying to give us more hints toward wheel not?
How many misspellings are in TTOTC alone, let alone anywhere else? He throws red herrings out all the time, and that's frustrating to figure out what's. I gave up on breakfast tea and bourbon because of the red herrings. Once he said there was 3 solid sols and all that, I was like, I'm done. I can't walk away from Forrest, but I can walk, or the treasure chest on the Forrest Fen hunt, but I sure can walk away from when I went, another red herring. I don't like the red herrings thing. I like to try to figure out, like the 12th plate in Raleigh. That was great because it was trying to crack it, but it wasn't purposely trying to lead us down bunny holes. I get there myself so quickly. Yeah.
And I mean, I know it's far-fetched, but it's there. It's not like I typed over the poem and typed try the wheel and said, look, it's there. If you slide the lines a certain way, that message is there. And to me, the word starts on the last letter in halt and ends on the last letter in seek. You don't have to slide these two lines. These line up perfectly without sliding the lines. It's the lines in the middle that you slide. To me, it just looks intentional. It looks like a pattern.
I would blow you up right now if I thought it was way too far. I'm a little bit like Sledneck. I think it's a little bit messing with it, but would I say this is absolutely outlandish? No, like the person that says it's in Toledo. Okay, that's
right. San Lazaro, yeah.
Right. So, but this is like, okay, this kind of makes sense.
I mean, and then it says the R, use the R, the E. But then it breaks down because when you slide this line back, there's nothing here that says use the A. You just have to figure out the pattern, which is every third letter. Now you could use the third letter in heavy. There's an A in heavy, and if we slid that over, it does mess it up, and then it's not wheel, then it's WHEEH. But I mean, how much of a mastermind is Forrest that he couldn't say, well, how am I going to figure this out? So he just used the third letter. Loads, wise, your, marvel, the third letter of every word. To me, that's a pattern. If I was using just random letters, there's no pattern, but I see a pattern here to me. Halt, the T and halt, the S and seek are lined up perfectly, which starts and ends treasures. I don't know. What do you guys think in the chat room? Because I haven't been looking at it all.
Do not look at the chat room, please, for the love of anything.
But you got to admit it's interesting, and it's fun, I think, to talk about it and point it out. The answer I already know. I've done it tired and now I'm weak. If you've been wise and found the blaze, look quickly down. The treasures is spelled down in the poem. Like, do we read down crossword style? Now that's probably stretching it because like I said, the actual 9 clues are 9 landmarks out in the Rocky Mountains that we've got to find. I'm just wondering if this wheel that we're supposed to try helps us identify maybe where warm waters halt.
Okay, let me be clear here, though. Are you saying this is absolutely it? There is not. If anybody has a solve that does not involve a wheel, they are crazy.
Oh no, of course not. No, this is just a possibility. That's all.
Chat room, are you listening? Listening, chat room. Come on, it's just fun. It's off season. Let's relax. This is something new. This is something interesting. The treasures 9 letters is interesting enough, and to make Paul just kind of freak out.
He didn't send the super chat, did he? Okay, yeah, I was gonna say because I'm going to keep talking about it whether you send it or not. So
that's awesome. So and that's like I have one that if you put in the Cody Museum McCracken imagination, there is only 2 things that come up, and one of them talks about a flashlight and in the middle of the night searching for something. And maybe I'll do a vblog on that. That's one that I cannot let go. I cannot let that one go. And I know Forrest has been there, and it's in Cody, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But
so you know about the anagram in the poem, correct? You've heard of it? Yeah, that's a good question. Which one? Hold on. I'll find it. The one with the... No, that's not it. From there, it's no place for the meek? Yeah, from there, it's no place for the meek. Anagrams to Pitchfork, Matitsi, Realm of Horn. Now, Realm of Horn is the Bighorn Mountains. right? Let's go back to our map. I'm
Okay,
pretty
now
sure
my
I got
head
the
just
right line.
exploded.
What's
Now my
that?
head my head just
From there, it's no place for the meek. The exact number of letters, none left over. Anagrams to Matitsi, pitchfork, realm of horn. Now, what the heck does that mean? Well, if we go to Matitsi, it's a city. Matitsi, Wyoming. Check it out. This is Matitsi. And there is a street called Pitchfork Road that runs right through Matitsi. Right here. Matitsi, Pitchfork. And if you follow that road, where does it take you? It takes you right up to the Bighorn Mountains. Matitsi, Pitchfork, realm of horn. The medicine wheel is up here.
Paul just gave the shade.
Thanks, Paul. But I got to keep talking about it. Somebody's got to find this thing, right?
Paul, just call me later. I will help you. It's okay.
Medicine wheel. All right, let's see how far Matitsi is from the medicine wheel.
Paul, why don't you text me in? He has a long question. You might get cut off here on the number of
And that's another heck of a coincidence. If that line from there, it's no place for the meek. If it's just a coincidence that it anagrams to Matitsi, Pitchfork, realm of horn, and there's a Matitsi city right here, and through that city is a road called Pitchfork, which is right there. Where'd it go? Right there is Pitchfork Road, Matitsi, Pitchfork, and if you follow Pitchfork Road, it sends you in the general direction of the Bighorn Mountains where the medicine wheel is. So, realm of horn, isn't that crazy? And the other question somebody might say is, well, is the medicine wheel on the highlighted area of the map and too far to walk? And it is. It is. It says, and I'm looking at it right now, it says Bighorn. That whole range of mountains says Bighorn on the map. So it is in play. So, I don't know, everybody. I'm putting it out there. Everybody can go crazy with it like I have for the last however long.
Okay.
Does anybody think it looks intentional, or does everybody think it's just crazy?
I think someone gave super chat for you to shut up. Someone else asked, how do we make the electricity go out at Mike's house so YouTube does not? So I think at least now there's a couple, William, that are pretty upset that are saying, "Oh my God, this is crazy," and blah blah blah.
That it's totally made up type thing.
It's it's totally
but
crazy.
That's just it. I didn't make it up. The message is there. It's just, is it a coincidence? Is the question. Oh, keep going. You're making my high higher. Oh, nice, Steve. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Now, Forrest could put it to bed. Forrest, if you want to come out with a scrapbook that says no anagrams or no sliding lines, but I know he won't. If he ever watches this.
The haters explode that you got a super secret hint.
Well, no, he would be telling everybody. It's wrong. That's crazy. Oh, okay. Well, all right. And I'm sure people have emailed this to him. The Bighorn medicine wheel can't be the first time he's ever heard of it. I would think. I mean, I don't know that for sure. I'm guessing.
It's the solve. It's where the treasure chest is. Of course.
There's no way. Now, I guess he can't solve it. He can't hide it here, but I guess it could be hidden in the area around it. But Warm Waters doesn't halt at the Bighorn medicine wheel. I don't see how there's any water up there at all. So to me, that doesn't make sense. So in other words, if Try the Wheel, Montana, Wyoming, is telling you to start at the Bighorn medicine wheel and then start looking for the 9 clues, I don't see anywhere where Warm Waters would halt anywhere around there. Now, there's Five Springs Basin right here. I see it on the map, but, what is that? I don't know what that is. So that's it, everybody. That's it in a nutshell. Try the wheel.
Try the wheel. When he says simplify, try the wheel. I mean, that's not complicated word.
Right.
Try the wheel. I mean,
Now, if this isn't the right wheel, like if people that have been to Yellowstone National Park, is there a wheel somewhere in Yellowstone National Park where Try the Wheel would fit? Is there a landmark, a road, something that if somebody said try the wheel and you're in Yellowstone, you go, oh yeah, that means this over here. I should ask the park ranger that when I'm out there. I want to try the wheel. Can you tell me where that is? And it'll be like, oh yeah, it's right over there. And then I'll be like, that's it. I just figured it out.
Well, so I have 2 things to say. One, Mike, you've been to his house and you've been to his backyard. Did you see the wheel?
The wagon wheel. Oh, the wagon wheel. Oh, the Santa Fe Trail. Now, see, try the wheel. Could mean the Santa Fe. See? That's interesting. That is interesting. The
other one. There's a couple people in chat. It's like, hey, Pro, why don't you ask Forrest and he can put out words. I've had a lot of people in the last month ask me to get words from Forrest, etc. I'm chilling on that right now because I want the community to just relax.
Right.
And I know some people are really upset that he gives me words, not that they're upset about Jenny or Dow getting words. So I'm not going to ask him right now for words. I might pull that up eventually, but right now I just want everybody to just chill out. And so I do think it's sad that a couple bad apples spoiled the bunch when it came to getting words for the entire community and sharing them with everyone. But right now I'm not going to ask him. I think this is just fun. We have a whole off season. Maybe by spring I'll be up for that. But right now I'm not asking him any additional things because I'm sick of the hate. So let's get the hate out of the way, and then maybe we'll spool up by spring. So I'm not asking him. I'm having fun with Mike here. Me and Mike are having fun.
We're getting back to the poem, and this is definitely the poem.
Yeah.
It just might not be in a way that anybody's ever thought of before, but
Marty, I'm not asking him that. All you people, no, maybe I'll do an entire night of what questions do you want to ask. We had a thread about that on Thor. We actually have a couple threads about that, but not tonight. No, I'm not asking him anything right now because I'm just not. How do you like that? Just
and
not.
Somebody said try the wheel means get in your car, the 4 wheels, and go out there and look for it. That's pretty funny because he says get off your texting machines, get off the computer. So try the wheel means get in your car and get out there and search.
So that's Mike, have you been to the Yellowstone area?
No, I have not yet, but I'm going. Not yet. Especially now with this, I'm definitely going. I want to go to the medicine wheel.
You had this a year ago.
But I was stuck in New Mexico. I thought where Walmarters halted at the border because of the fishing regulations, just like Toby, and that somehow you worked your way down to Wheeler Peak. Try the wheel was Wheeler Peak.
Where was I this last year with you? I'm so glad you didn't waste your money on vacation up in New Mexico. So I had a few vacations there. I get it. I understand. So okay, well, so you're going north, Mike? Is that what you're saying? Is this the general area you're in, or are you still working it out? You don't have a WWWH. You just have a general
That's correct.
area.
That's correct. Right? Like I put in that one vlog when he says simplify, what makes the most sense. Like I said, in most treasure hunts, the simplest solution seems to be right, and we overcomplicate everything. It makes sense to me that when he was a kid or a teenager, that's when he found a secret spot, and that would have been up in the Yellowstone area. I'm not saying inside the park, but up in that Wyoming, Montana area.
Okay, can you clarify what just popped up? Is it a coincidence that I told someone this solved just last week? Yes, it is a coincidence. He had this out a year ago. It was not.
Everybody, you can look at vlog number 9 and look at the date that I uploaded that vlog number 9 over a year ago. And you'll see I pretty much say the exact same thing. This is the exact same spreadsheet that I used back then.
Not me.
So yeah,
I did not give any secrets away.
She didn't say anything like this ever to me. And I didn't. And when I came up with the idea to do it, I was going to do it by myself. And I said, K-Pro, I need a rational mind that can look at it critically. Do you want to come on with me? And that's why we're here right now. So now everybody's going to think you talked about it, which you didn't.
No, and Mike has evidence. You said vblog 9. Go see Paul. Go see vblog 9.
He said all good. He said love you all. I think he's joking around.
Okay,
but what's funny is I posted that I was going to do this live about the keyword on Dale's blog in the word that is key thread. And as soon as I posted it, like an hour later, I get an email that says, so you figured out the word, and now you're going to put it out because somebody posted it. And it had nothing to do with this. They thought I was talking about something else. And that's posted in that thread. And to me, this makes more sense than what was in that thread, because at least this is spelled right. And their solution, it's Gallatin. Is that how you pronounce it? Gallatin, but it's not spelled right. So try the wheel makes more sense to me. Now, how do we apply that? I don't know. Is it the medicine wheel or is it something totally different? That's the part I don't know.
I think you just ruled out 2 states as far as I'm concerned.
That's right.
Groundbreaking. And did you get this directly from Forrest Fenn in a secret hint, Mike?
No.
I think it's awesome. I think it's great. I mean, I you know what? This is the thing for me. It is not so. I've heard some things that are so outlandish that I go, no way. This one I go, no, but wait, no way. Hold on. No,
I just keep coming back to the pattern where it's not totally random. It's the third letter of all these words that we... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. The third letter for the word treasures. The first letter, as far as try the wheel, is the first letter here. It's strange how it lines up. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And William, I have to give credit to Mike. He did say that this was a year ago and this was 2 years ago on Chase Chat and all that. So for some of the old timers, and William, you're an old timer. Yeah, this is old news, but for some of the new people, it's not. It's fun to watch something like this. And there was so much stuff on Chase Chat. I hadn't seen this before. I didn't walk through it. I knew that you kept saying try the wheel, and I knew that piece, but I didn't know all the details. This is kind of fun to reminisce on some of the things that are, I think, maybe a coincidence or maybe more. It's just fun.
So Bill says he's been saying treasure is the key word forever. But Bill, did you ever use the word on the poem in this way? Why did you think the word treasures was the key word? Because to me, it's bold. He's saying in the poem, hey, this word is bold. Why is the word bold? It's the only one with 9 letters.
Okay, don't give Paul too much of a hard time, everybody, because I think he is just playing. But it is really funny that within this last week, I told Mike I was talking to somebody about a really killer solve, and it happened to be Paul Ammons, and so he outed himself.
But wait, was it this message in the poem, or?
Yeah, it was Bighorn, and it was about a wheel. It was.
Well, he probably saw this on Chase Chat like I did way back then.
No, he doesn't do any of the blogs.
So he came up with it. So Paul, are you saying you found this message on your own? Or you just
okay, Paul? I didn't say any. Okay, yeah.
Or maybe he doesn't want to answer. I don't know.
I don't know.
All right. Whatever. The vlog 9 is there. You can all look at it. This is not new news. It's new news for a lot of people, but not for me.
I think I gave up the secret. No, I wouldn't.
I didn't even know K-Pro existed when I did vlog 9. So we had no idea of each other.
That is shocking.
Thor wasn't. Hint of Riches wasn't even around back then.
No, actually,
or was it?
We've got to do something. We are hitting our 1-year anniversary of
Thor.
Cool. In like 2 weeks from now, and so we've got to do something like coin related or celebration or
definitely
champagne. I don't know, something.
Try the. I'm gonna come up with a T-shirt that says "Try the Wheel, Wyoming, Montana," right there, just like that. Try the wheel. Wouldn't that be cool? I would actually wear that. Try the wheel, a crossword style like that. And then Treasures is over here in red.
Yeah, and then okay.
Who would buy one? I think I'm gonna do that. That would actually be pretty cool to have the poem like that, where it's colored. Anyway.
Well, there's places in the mall that do custom T-shirts.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. They do.
Okay, bro, powwow. Everybody's asking, how did you do that?
All right, wait a minute. Paul's saying he has a better one. A better what, Paul? A better message in the poem?
He has a different solve that is.
Oh, okay.
He has this is his backup solve. This is his number 2 solve. He has a number 1 solve that is even better, and so he's. Anyway, so to be fair to him, that was his backup song. But it's just interesting as you kept going. I'm like, my text.
You're gonna get blamed, yeah. Vlog 9, everybody. Over a year ago, I had this back then.
No,
but I was stuck in New Mexico.
Paul's not a hater. Paul's good people.
Mr. C. Doug 1, thank you for that super chat.
Oh my God, what's happening tonight? Jeez.
Try the wheel, anagrams to we try the eel, whatever that means. And that's the problem with anagrams. You can come up with so much stuff. There's an anagram that says Gallatin holds someone dear. I forget what line it is. So that's a nod toward, is it pronounced Gallatin? Probably not Gallatin. It's probably Gallatin. It says someone holds Gallatin dear, I believe. So that points to Gallatin, either the forest, the national forest, or the county, or whatever, which is a ways away from the medicine wheel, but I don't know. That's the hidden message in the poem, everybody.
This has been entertaining. I've enjoyed it. And I do have to say, you were losing me early on, and then boom. You came in, and then you just slam dunked at the end. Good job, Mike.
The hardest part is to try and explain it so that it makes sense. Because people are like, oh, you're just sliding stuff around. But if you see that it's the R and the E, and then the third letter in every word as you go down, there's a little bit of a pattern. Now, maybe it's coincidence. It'd be a heck of a coincidence, but it's possible. Because there was a coincidence in Breakfast, Tea, and Bourbon that Pete didn't know about. There was an anagram, the Jubilee. If anybody remembers Breakfast, Tea, and Bourbon, we thought one of the lines said Jubilee something or other, and Pete was like, no, I never thought of that. So it's possible. It's just coincidence. But there is a medicine wheel right there, and there is a medicine wheel, and the Bighorn Mountains, and hear me all, and listen good. Your effort will be worth the cold. I'm sure it's effort to walk up to that thing. There's snow in the wintertime. If you're brave, the Indians built it, and in the wood, the medicine wheel is in those posts, which are wood, in the wood. I give you title to the gold. So everybody can have fun with that for the next year, like I did.
Well, you probably.
Me too, Paul. Me too. That's why I brought it up.
You just couldn't let it go. You go back to it, like my imagination one with the with the Yellowstone area, and I have one just like it that I keep going back to. And
right. Yeah, it's one of those things where if it is intentional, if that is what we were supposed to find, well, then how can you ignore it? I mean, how huge is that we all know about it now?
yeah.
And what if when the treasure's found, Forrest is like, yeah, that was what you were supposed to find first, and then somehow that helps us go boots on the ground somewhere.
Well, but the big thing for me is let's explore these things over the next 3 months, because we're not going anywhere, because the treasure chest is under snow. And even if it is old news and, oh my gosh, this is the best we have and all that, yeah, this is the best we got. And let's look at some things and let's think a little differently. And because none of you got it last season and I didn't get it either. And I'm not happy because I did differently than Mike. I took a bunch of vacations. I went boots on the ground again. Let's see, again, and again I went 3 times. And so I didn't waste some money. I had some great times. Cynthia, I went a couple alone. I don't know if I'll go alone again, because it's not as fun. When you go with somebody, it actually is a blast. As I was thinking.
Yeah.
Cynthia said, gosh, I had a lot of fun this time. I'm like, search partner, see what happens. And she's like, wow, yeah, because after you crash, you just have a good time. So anyway, I think this was fun. Good
And
job,
then
Mike.
another possible theory for try the wheel is somebody emailed me a solution where it all had to do with the stars in astronomy. I forget how they put it, but there's zodiac signs that are warm or waters. So I thought, try the wheel. Have you ever heard of Star Wheel? Star Wheel is that wheel where you can shine a light through it and it puts constellations on your wall, the pinholes. It's called a star wheel. So I was like, try the wheel could mean a lot of different things. But the Wyoming, Montana, I mean, how do you make that fit? And is it a constellation? Yeah. So it's just try the wheel is pretty vague, and you could probably make it fit a lot of things. But that's why Forrest put it in there to mess with you.
No, I think we would know if he was. That would be one that I would think too far of a stretch, even though we know Once Upon a While in the cover and all that. I don't think that's what he has long term been focused on. He's been focused on American Indians. That arrowhead is what he loves. Those sorts of things, and this also fits with that, because there's some other things in that area that I know about that may be specialized knowledge. But
what's more American Indian than a medicine wheel that they built hundreds of years ago? I mean, did he go up there when he had cancer just to kind of, do his spiritual thing? I don't know. I'm guessing. I'm spitballing here, everybody.
Well, when we think about it, it's not only when he had cancer. Wouldn't it be when he was 15, 16, 17, 18,
Mm-hmm.
Those years, not more than, but
that's true.
That's the debate of when. I don't know.
I don't know. And who is left alive that would know that where they went, if they went to the medicine wheel on a family vacation or not? Isn't everybody gone that would have went if they went all together as a family? When he was a kid. Everybody's gone, right? There's nobody else that would say, yeah, Forrest, you were at the medicine wheel. Nobody would know because they're not alive anymore, right?
Yeah, but as I've gone alone in there, do you think he went with somebody, or is it one of those days that he just got on his bike and pedaled his little heart out?
Well, yeah, I mean, 2 hours by car, but yeah. Well, remember, 2 can keep a secret if one's dead. Maybe him and Skippy went there.
Is saying you need to pull your mic a little bit away from because you're
too loud.
Hot
mic. It's my voice. I think I'm always too loud. Everybody, I'm getting excited over here.
Just move it away. I'll move it closer because I'm the quiet.
Is that better at all?
I don't know. Okay. Well, no, but these are the kind of things I think we need to look at a little differently. Like at the beginning when I was like crossword, all that, but now I'm looking at it going. Maybe.
Nice, Joel.
Maybe.
Nice, Joel. But it is the off season, right? I don't think anybody should be out there searching, and these are the things we think about. If only we had something to do in the off season. So let's tear apart the poem and
well, speaking of
try
that,
and come up with these things.
You, Mike?
Check it out.
Do you have maps?
These are the maps from.
These are some of the maps.
Yeah. These are only some. These are the ones from Colorado, and these are the ones from Utah. So these are the actual maps. So let's hold one up. Everybody can see it. This one is from Archuleta Creek, Colorado. Archuleta Creek. So that is the 7 point.
I saw next.
That is the 7 point. Well, wait a minute. We just said it's in Montana or Wyoming as far as the question in the poem, the cling in the poem. So these are the maps. And if anybody's interested in a map, very soon, hopefully next week, I have time off for Thanksgiving. I'll be able to get the inventory done, and then we'll put it out there how you guys can purchase one if you're interested.
Well, and some people have asked, are you going to have them available before Christmas? And this
Oh,
is
yeah.
where I'm going to crack the whip. Yes, Mike is
Yeah,
going to have
definitely.
the inventory done. And some other people may have found out a little bit. I didn't tell a lot, Mike, but that
What?
there might be a little surprise that comes with, there's a twist maybe,
With the
because this is
maps?
with the maps. Don't you think
Okay.
that there, what do you
Yes,
think?
there is
Mike?
something that we're going to add to the maps, and everybody, I think, is going to like it. We're not going to say
Oh,
what it
then
is yet, right?
I
Or are
don't think
we?
we should.
Okay.
No, I
All
don't
right.
think we should.
The
But there's
maps.
going to be a big surprise. Well, I won't say big because everybody. No, there's no treasure chest being shipped with a map to your
Yeah,
house.
no.
So but it's fun. It's something that will be really. I need to ignore the chat room. And yes, I think it will be exciting, and I think it'll be fun, and I think so. If you like a map, maybe you'll like a map in something else that will be exciting and Fen related as well.
What could we give with a map? I wonder. We'll have to let people try and figure that out for themselves. But
Maybe
we
a
hope.
contest.
Yeah, right there you go. No, not another contest.
No, because
But
no, well, at least I know two people that know, and two can keep a secret if one of us is dead.
hopefully after Thanksgiving is when they'll be for sale. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm planning because I have time off for Thanksgiving. I get it all done. We figure out how we're going to sell them and for how much and all that fun stuff. And then you guys will figure out or find out what the surprise is.
Okay, everybody stop texting me. I'm not telling Mike. So this is a little bit different. Some people are like, you're really close to me. Why can't you tell me? Because I'm in a
What?
business deal with Mike, and so I
Oh, the
cannot
secret?
reveal
Oh, gotcha.
secret. The secret is it's kind of cool.
Unless
Though.
you want to put it out now, but that's up
No,
to you. All right. She says we
I
have to
don't.
wait, everybody, so we have to
I
wait.
think we need to wait because
Okay.
it's just like the cement isn't even dry yet. We've got to get it
Yeah.
totally locked
In
down
place.
before,
Yeah.
but it will be. Did Decoy's girlfriend's name get a name yet? I can tell you we have about 15 submissions.
Ouch.
Mike and I actually agree on who the front runner is, but we're not going to announce it till Monday. So if you have one, I mean, we can have a dark horse come and take the race. You have until Monday. So right now we have a front runner, but that doesn't mean it'll be a front runner on Monday. So now, what is he saying now about? Now, oh, he's saying say it now. Say it now. Oh, William, you're gonna love it. I know you.
Yeah, you guys will like it. I think everybody.
Yeah,
I hope
it's
nobody
gonna
can
be
complain, but we'll see. HP Rd had a
okay.
question. Go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead. No, you go first.
No, they said. No, I lost it. Oh, they said. Forrest recently mentioned keywords, plural. Remember in the article, he said when he gets long emails, he scans for the emails for certain keywords.
Mhm.
And they said, so how do I think what they were asking is, hey, you've only got one keyword in the poem. The way I read that is the word that we're supposed to be in tight focus in is the word that we're supposed to be in tight focus in is different than the key words that he scans for in emails. In other words, the word that is key, which could be treasures, is what we're supposed to use to find the treasure chest. The key words that he's scanning for in an email is where the treasure chest is. So I think those are two different things. That's just my opinion, though. That's what I think.
Well, and do you really think Forrest will sit by and watch Shiloh auction off maps that has of the treasure chest location? Seriously, I have a bridge to sell you. No, and this is what I think. This is just my personal opinion. I don't necessarily think it has an X and that's the one and we're all supposed to run to it and that's the way you solve it and his legacy is about buying maps on eBay. I do not believe that's his legacy. But do I believe if I have a solve that I have been to 300 times and Forrest Fenn used to own that topo map and I get a certificate of authenticity, I might be willing to shell out $25 and have it sent by Christmas. Or a friend of mine, if they sent that to me and had an extra little surprise in that little package, I would be elated. And for $25, I'm a Fenn treasure hunter and I'd put it right back up on this wall. And do I think that there might be 100 or 200 people like me out of 350,000? Yep. And that's why do I think that this is how Forrest is saying, this is how you crack the poem, go on eBay?
No.
I don't. But do I think this is super fun? Just like the coins. Do I think the coins have a super
souvenir.
secret pin on that?
Yeah.
No, it's just fun. That's why there's a lot of stuff out there that's Forrest Fenn's. And as he starts, and Shiloh told me he would not answer me. Somebody asked this last week and I didn't get it in the chat. when are the other maps of the other states coming out? He has no other maps of other states. This is his only collection. Shiloh told me that, and Forrest did not. I asked Forrest, and Forrest said he didn't want to answer. Shiloh said, this is it. So these are his maps. I think it's super fun, and that's just it's like it's like a t-shirt or a coffee mug. Like, it's like these cool hats. Like, do I think this is how we like solve Forrest Fenn's hut? No, this is just super fun. I like the super fun
just
stuff,
like Dan's copper piece back there. It's something cool that you can have as a memento from the chase.
I have a mom and I have a baby. It's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
And just like, if you haven't read, here's a couple of ones that are just, do I think that the Codex,
right?
If you haven't read that, there are some amazing coincidences in there. Do I think that, I mean, these are ones that when I go to the Santa Fe bookstore and I think, what else can I buy? These are just fun. Do I think they're super secret hints? No, I don't. But it's kind of fun to bide the time because we're off season, which, like I said before, sucks. It's just the time of year. So anyway, have you been watching the chat? I'm sorry, I got distracted.
Not really.
I started. Okay. So
the keyword is cease. So everybody thinks they have their keyword, but in this particular instance, you can use the keyword on the poem in a certain way to come up with a very interesting message, in my opinion. So
well, and I think it's funny that it's just like you have to go there with confidence. I think everybody's overconfident, in my opinion, or there's too many people overconfident. And he says there's when he said the gut comment, we had like 25 people. We did a thing on a poll on Thor. Is he talking to you? And everybody, there was like 25 people that said yes. And are you the 200 footer? I'm sure there's 100 people that said yes. And then I think we're all overconfident, but also I think that's a good thing as long as you keep your mind open to some of these ideas. Like today, somebody asked me, why do you sit on the blogs? I remember 2 years ago when I scrapped my last solve, I was just looking and I saw something about Nez Perce Trail, and that got me to something that got me to say it was kind of a weird comment, and I looked it up, and I spent 18 months on that solve. It was fun. So that's, I mean, so the blogs I don't think give you, or the YouTubes, I don't think they give you like, this is groundbreaking news, go. But I think it gives you an opportunity to think a little bit differently and think different than a lot of people do, just like a search partner does. I mean, a search partner, if you get the right one, thinks differently than you have and focuses differently because you all have, they call it the perceptual lens. You have your own perception based on your experiences. And so even if you're a twin, you're going to have a set of experiences that are very different. So your perception is different. So that's what I like about, that's what I use. Some people, I've now noticed, now that we have started YouTube, how many negative comments there are of, you're trying to tell us. I don't think, at least and I don't think Mike is trying. It's just like, here's some ideas. What do you think? Because obviously none of us have got it right. I know all of us are 200 footers and we're so close in 4 different states. We're 200 feet away from the chest, but I don't think we're close enough yet. So let's think outside the box, even if it's silly and kind of crazy. I'm up for silly and kind of crazy. So
I'm just coloring the message and make it easier to read.
I know.
Yeah, these are just opinions, everybody. Nobody has got any inside knowledge. And again, I got this from somebody else.
Yeah, no, secret knowledge. We've all got, what do you mean?
Yeah, we all think we have secret knowledge, Paul, Amons, but do we really? And how are you watching this anyway? Do you have Wi-Fi on the beach or what? Aren't you fishing all the time? But I will tell you a fun story, and I don't think I'm speaking out of turn. The person who came up with this, as far as I know, the person who came up with this and posted it, they said that somebody contacted them with this solution and was like, I can't go get it, but I want you to go get it. So in other words, he partnered with somebody, and then that person he never heard from again. The person just disappeared. So that's kind of interesting, right? So I don't know. That's the story anyway. That's the story that I remember, and this is going back probably 3 years or something. I mean, I knew about this a long time before I ever made Vlog 9. I knew about it before I ever started making vlogs, and I know it was a long time ago because I was on second shift where I work now, and that was over 3.5 years ago because I used to spend a lot of time working on this stuff while I was on second shift. So.
Okay, for super chat, Paul, I am just saying, let's drop this and talk about fishing.
All right, that's it. It's out there. Yeah, let's fish for the word that is key. How about that?
Yeah, so no, and that's why there's a lot of archives out there that are really interesting to read. And I know that's what a lot of people do in the off season is start looking at the different archives and things. I will say a lot of the archives get deleted or parts of it get deleted. I screen capture over time, and I'm glad that I screen captured. It's like 3 years ago. Like a lot of chase chat, there's a lot of deleted threads now, and so I screen capture. But I will tell you, tag along the way. If you don't tag along the way, screen captures are just pictures, and then you never, or it takes a long time to go back and just sift through. But I would screen capture anything that I thought was kind of interesting, even though I was fixated on my solve at the time. So yeah, I think it's, yeah, I'm all about it. So
Joel says that he emailed Forrest and asked him, is sliding the lines in the poem messing with the poem? And he hasn't had a response yet. So Joel said he emailed him. So
I'm
I don't think
so
Forrest will
tempted
answer.
to email Forrest, because Forrest does have the link to this. So I'm so tempted right now. But no, I'm refraining from corresponding about stuff that I'm putting out with Forrest right now, because
I mean, if it is coincidence, it's great. He probably loves it that everybody would focus on this, because then they're not focusing on the poem, right? Here, does that help if I zoom in like that? Can you guys see that a little better?
I think he likes when people are. I think he likes when people listen to him. When he
Oh,
says
yeah.
simplify, when he says, I remember when he first put out simplify, it's when people were like putting heat to, like National Treasure, they were lemon juice and putting heat to it was, and it seemed kind of right for a little while, but not right, but it couldn't be wrong. Like, how can you say somebody's wrong? But I kind of let everybody know, hold on a second, you're getting way too
So Paul, when you say impressed, you mean that this message, again, I didn't come up with it. It's just somebody posted it somewhere and I kind of ran with it, but I was always stuck on Wheeler Peak. Now, if it is on Wheeler Peak, I'm going to be upset.
But think about how many ideas are out there, and some people have said, if Forrest went on the blogs and actually put the legit solve, how many people would just discount it? Like, if this was on Chase Chat, I've done hundreds and thousands of hours on Chase Chat, and I never picked up on this enough to go, oh, I really understand this. I might have been done after maybe 30 seconds, or even if that you picked up on it, Paul picked up on it for a very different reason, which I know, and I won't tell. Maybe Paul will.
Oh,
Paul,
wait.
come on.
So, Paul, why don't you come on the program, maybe Monday, and let's talk about how you came up with the wheel solution. Now, if you're still working on it, then obviously you won't. If you still think it's right and you're still trying to find a chest, I understand why you won't. But it would be interesting to see how you came about it, if it's different than this.
Yeah, and William, I've only heard about the book that was burned, but that's why I think we should burn a map. But Jake has not.
Hey, maybe. How about if we sell so many maps, then we burn one? How about that? Let's have a goal. Let's sell some first.
Okay. Yeah. Like, once we sell 500 maps, how's that?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
That'll work. No, half. Let's say half.
We get to pick which map, right?
Yes, the one with the big fat X on it.
Right.
So why does Forrest like numbers so much? Can you ask him that? No, I'm not asking him anything right now. I'm being a bitter little Betty. I'm being a Debbie Downer. I caught so much flack that anyway.
If Forrest wants to communicate anything to everybody, he will do it on Dale's blog, right?
No, what?
Well, or Thor, or Hint of Riches, yeah. But I mean, yeah.
No, I don't have to go to him. You know what? He's a smart guy, and enough people communicate with him on every little thing every single day about every, like, if I sneeze, people let him know that I sneezed that day.
So Forrest Fenn clarifies. Maybe he could clarify if sliding the lines of the poem is messing with the poem. I mean, that would be good. You know what?
But Dal doesn't catch hate, and neither does Jenny. So put it on Dal and Jenny. You know what? Maybe I will say, why don't you put on one of those sites, because then it's not super secret hint. It's actually like, give it to the whole community, even though I give it to the whole community. I think that would be.
Oh, that's a good point, Lori Barnes. So remember I said, let's go back to the thrill of the chase? He slid down the fire escape from the Spanish class, remember? So maybe that's a hint to sliding lines. And then that just made me remember that in vlog number 9 that I did, in the book, he said I was the only one that knows that trick, the sliding, I mean. That's word for word. So sliding lines, that could be a major hint right there to sliding lines as the correct solution. It could be.
Okay, that's
good point, Lori. So the next vlog I'm going to do is going to be about the thrill of the chase the book related to this.
William says, have you seen the story that was in the benchmark maps? There's only 100 people that got it. What is the name of the copper piece behind you? I have both. I have the blaze, and what are the two pieces? Copper Dan, where are you?
Well, wait, what does he mean, the story that was in the benchmark maps? I don't know what he
I don't
means by
know.
that. I don't know what the
Tell us
story is.
more. William, tell us more.
Marty. Yeah.
This is from the Jamie drawing. This is the latest one that he has like 80. Oh, this is WWWH, and that's the blaze. Those are the two that are out right now. So I have one of each. Mike will come on as long as KPro is there, but only the one you spoke of. Okay, Paul has said he's coming on Monday. Monday, Paul.
Oh, he's going to come on the Raven's Nest? Oh, that'd be pretty awesome. Let's talk about it.
As long as KPro is there. Come on,
Paul. So only answer this if you can, Christy. Only answer this if you can. Did Paul already know about this message in the poem? And if you don't want to say, then that's fine. So
I do not believe so.
Okay, right.
Well, when he explained, well, let's let Paul answer that.
Yeah. Did you know about this message in the poem before tonight, Paul, or no?
I don't think he did, because he told you to shut up, Mike. He paid you.
But that means he came and try the wheel in a different way, and that's interesting to me, because if it's intentional, Forrest could have tried to get that to us in different ways.
No, it's not tried the wheel. There's a little
or
bit
just
of
a wheel. Okay, just a wheel.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but like Bighorn, there was too many like exact parallels that made it quite interesting.
So Marty says, "Why do you think Forrest?"
World famous gamer. I'm watching. You're someone I know. World famous gamer.
Marty says, "Why do you think Forrest likes numbers so much? He didn't really have a math background." Well, why do you say he likes numbers so much? I mean, because of the 9 clues, or I don't know where numbers comes in. But he was a pilot. You have to know a little bit about numbers for longitude and latitude and vectoring and all that kind of stuff. Because back then, it wasn't the computer that did it for you. I think he was doing all this stuff manually. So.
And back to William, was it a scrapbook? He's saying that there was a story put out, or was it words, or was it on Jenny's site? Was it surprise words or something? I don't know the one that you're referring to, but yeah.
That's right, Zozo. In piloting days, math is required. That's true. Forrest likes to play it off that he was bad in school, but he's smart. He's street smart. So
I think he's a little bit more than street smart.
I mean, he's smart. Yeah.
Like he's not. Yeah.
Right.
I think he's both, but he doesn't.
As he sells $1 million paintings. I'm just a redneck from Texas.
Yeah, I think it's a little, but I think that's the hustler part of him. So it's still like the non-book smarts.
Yeah.
But somebody was analyzing the other day, like he lied about exactly his GPA on this day or this grade. Exactly. I don't think he was. I think he probably had in his head he was a worse student than he was, but I don't think it was that big of a deal.
So Paul says he found the same one. I'm assuming he means the same message, but he found it another way. So I would be very interested, Paul. And if you want to come on the show and do it publicly, I'd be very interested to know how you found it another way.
I did not tell him, Paul.
No, Paul just said it in the chat, and I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, I'm just saying that I did not tell you're like acting here. I did not tell. It's just so funny that it's like literally within the last 10 days, or like since the show before, 1 week from today. That's when Paul and I started talking, was 1 week ago from today.
And David says Frosty was a slide ruler. Now, I remember in The Thrill of the Chase, Frosty, he said if you give him an inch, he thinks he's a ruler. But was slide ruler in there? If he used the word slide, that's pretty interesting to me, because we're sliding lines. But I'm not sure if slide ruler is what was said in the book.
But okay, I'll have to go back and look at that.
Yeah, we'd have to. And I'm going to. I'd like to do another video on just how this could relate to hints in The Thrill of the Chase, or Too Far to Walk, or Once Upon a While.
I think if we keep going with okay, so we already have 166 words. Then we have TTOTC that has plenty of words. If we start going with the other, you can have confirmation bias with all the books.
True.
Why don't we take all? He has 12 books, and I'm starting to collect them. I have.
But okay,
Nikolai Finch. I have American Dolls.
So what does Forrest say?
$70 a square inch.
What does Forrest say? Go back to the poem. So you're right. He says over and over again, go back to the poem, and this message is in the poem. So. There it is.
Forrest said that he didn't go to college, and then on an interview, he went to college for 2 years. I think, Misha, I think he meant, and I'm not speaking for him, but I think he meant he didn't graduate college. He did go to college, and I think everybody knows it, and I think he knows that everybody could have figured it out. So I think that's the nuance. This is the 85%. He's like, I didn't go to college. He just didn't graduate from college is what I think. But again, I don't know. So, or he just got caught in a big bold-faced lie. I don't think he bold. I just think he was telling a story and trying to keep. he just didn't want to give the long explanation. Well, I went here and then I got this grade and that grade and then I dropped out because of he just said I didn't go to college. Or, he could have said it in a different way, but now everybody's picking apart every word.
So I would be very interested if people want to email me, and I can keep it confidential, but if you can think of a different way to use Try the Wheel. So it's not the Bighorn medicine wheel. Maybe it's something else that relates in a different way. So what people can come up with, it would be interesting, to talk about it and see. But when
there is a quiet searcher in the room that has also shared his solve with me that relates a lot to this, and I think you should email Mike.
Now that different people have come across it in different ways, to me, that's very interesting. That leads credence to it in my mind. And maybe we could have a panel of 6 people to talk about this, to talk about the message in the poem, just to see if they think, that's, or maybe if they have not heard of it before. Like, I don't know if Shannon Oots knows about this, or Sean Martinez, or, all the other people that we've had on the program before. I don't know if they are aware of the Try the Wheel message or not.
Yeah, Shannon. We should have Shannon on and see if she's heard about this. Sorry, Shannon.
Oh, is she the silent searcher you're talking about? What in the world?
I have not said anything.
No, you haven't at all. So.
Okay. Well, this has been an interesting.
Or Toby, Mr. AGK, if you want back on the panel, let's talk about this. I'm sure Toby's heard of it before, but I would just be interested what his take is. He's into codes and patterns and intelligence. I would be interested if he thinks this pattern is intentional or not.
Well, if you talk about somebody that can analyze and investigate, look at Sean Martinez. I mean, there's a ton.
Right.
Look at Michael Holt. I mean, there's lots of people.
Michael. I'm just trying to think. Illinois Ghost, if you want to come back on and talk about it. I just don't know who's been aware of this or not.
Okay. Paul Ammons just came clean.
What?
Yes, he did tell Shannon, and I knew he told Shannon that you brought up Shannon is insane.
I didn't. I have no idea about any of this stuff, guys.
Oh my gosh. It is funny because I knew that Shannon knew. And so, yes, the cat's out of the... I did not tell him, Paul. I did not tell him.
There's a better one. The same principle, but there's a better one. But Paul, same principle using the poem, or are you using the thrill of the chase, or if you want to answer. But I was just trying to see how you came about it without this message. How many times has the number 222 come up? Enough to be important.
I don't know.
In the book, a lot of people think numbers, sets of numbers come up a lot of times. The spokes of the medicine wheel is 28. I remember reading about that.
Justin, I know that Toby said he quit the chase. I don't know if you were on last night. He's now doing a Wednesday and Friday night show. So Hotel California, you can check out anytime you like. You can never leave. He's not actively searching. None of us are, hopefully in the off season. I don't think he's going anywhere. So as far as I'm concerned, he's back. Let's see.
And
so there's definitely different people are calling out different wheels for you to look at, Mike. There's lots of wheels.
Yeah, and it's interesting to, let's make a list of them. So somebody said, Dev JB says, show South Valley below the medicine wheel. Look for rock outcropping, but I don't see where South Valley is. See, this is closed in the wintertime, so you can't even get up here in the wintertime. Like now, I'm sure it's closed.
You're not
Right. 5 Springs campground is right here, so it'd be cool to camp there, go to the medicine wheel, check it out. But I don't know where South Valley is. Reeves Corner, Grable. But it is
William's sending me the story. Maybe that's what will be our show next week. We need a topic for the show next week. I have a couple, but I also kind of want to get what people are talking about.
I would definitely like to explore the message. I mean, what if this is the message? What if we just put it out there for everybody in the world to see? But it's been around, guys. It's been around.
30 people watching right now. They're riveted by this, Mike.
Well, the information has been out there, but I really think YouTube is what the new medium is going to be that keeps the chase going forward, and to get out information like this.
People are saying Wheeler Park, Wheeler Peak. Several people have said.
Where's Wheeler Park? Where's that at?
I don't know.
Oh,
whatever.
Is that in? I don't know where Wheeler Park is. I guess I could look it up. But yeah, try the wheel is pretty generic. I mean, that could mean a lot of things, but it must relate to the winning solve. And you're right. It does eliminate 2 states, Wyoming and Montana. It eliminates the other 2 states. So I'm definitely stuck in Wyoming, Montana, everybody.
Copper Dan just entered the room. He said, I'm late. Mike has just given away everything. It's a foot race. Get on a plane. Copper Dan. It has gone very, very different than I expected tonight. I mean, it's good stuff. Good job, Mike. And you've never been boots on the ground, Mike. I mean,
Because
you've
I've
been boots
spent
on
all
the
my
ball.
time on the poem. Just kidding.
So
I've
you
been
wait
busy with coins for
2019.
a good 6 months.
Yeah.
So, Copper Dan, did you know about this message? It's in the poem called Try the Wheel. You'll have to watch it from the beginning to understand it, but that is the message. Try the wheel, Wyoming, Montana. And I know Dan's been out looking, and I have no idea where his search area is. Everybody talks to Christy. She knows everything from everybody.
No, I do. I will not reveal that I. Oh my gosh.
Try the wheel. I'm here all night. Thank you. Good night. What's that?
I just phone, text, and yes, William, I got the Facebook Messenger. I can't go do it right now, but
That's funny. But see, nobody contacts me. It's funny. They all contact you.
I know how to keep it secret.
And I don't. Oh, I see.
I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying, well, it's just, I don't know. I have no idea what to say at this point.
Maybe the colors have something to do with this. Well, is there a wheel having to do with tea colors? Is there a tea wheel? I don't know.
There is a wheel if somebody wants to speak up, because I know he's in the room. There is a wheel about colors.
Well, there's a color wheel. I mean, I've heard that term before. Isn't that how we learned the Roy G. Biv, the colors of the rainbow and all that? Isn't that called a color wheel? I could be wrong. It sounds familiar.
Maybe. That's not the one I'm reading.
Okay.
Native American. Yeah, there might be.
Oh, interesting.
Anyway, there's but here again, everything that is being said, there's a bunny hole for it, or
rabbit hole. Yeah, this is a big rabbit hole, everybody. Trust me, it's been around for 2 years, and I kept climbing out of it, but I always look at it over there in the corner and go, maybe I should make a vlog on it. A live one, so we can talk about it.
I worry about this because a lot of people have told me their solves. Like, if I go and try to find my own solve, and then everybody's going to say, that was my idea. And I'm okay with that, because I just don't, I think the chances are so low. And if I partner with anybody, they get the chest and I get the frog. And that's all I want. So if it's their idea, and that's where I'm at. So I'm going to take the potential of the of the issues of listening to people solve, because it is so cool just to sit back. I'm a talker and everybody knows it, but when somebody wants to share their solve, and once they actually trust you over time, you just sit back and you hear them for hours, and they're like, oh, this, and like, Mike just did this just on the wheel. That's like a pre-clue. Think about if he had 9 solutions along the way. It is so cool just to sit back and listen. And I make sure up front, you cannot tell, like, there's a searcher in the room that told me his general area, and it was where somebody had already told me theirs, and I don't play that. I can't have 2 solves in the same general area. I won't listen to them. So anyway, it's fun. It's fun to listen to different people, and I haven't had any where I'm like, oh, I'll go right. Actually, I had one where I'm like, oh, I will go boots on the ground. Would you be willing for me to pick up your treasure chest for you? And I will take the frog and you get the rest of the chest, because it is that good of a solve. And that was Follow Me Down. And now I went 2 or 3 times boots on the ground, and I'm ready.
And is there a wheel that had to do with that solution at all?
No,
guess not.
No wheel.
Well, then it can't be right. It must be wrong.
Yeah.
So Aaron Ramsey said, have you ever heard of the term let the wheel go and let God drive? I've heard Jesus take the wheel. So she's like slanting it toward like a spiritual thing. I've heard of the saying. I don't know how it relates here, but I have heard of the saying. And just so everybody knows, there are many medicine wheels in the 4 states. The medicine wheel is a common thing. This one is the biggest one. From what I've read, this is the biggest, and I think maybe the oldest one, because they don't know who created this one. So there are many medicine wheels. They even call a wheel how they put down a teepee, how they put the post down. The Indians call that like a wheel, the base of a teepee or whatever. So in Indian lore
have you seen the Bighorn Monument and the Bighorn?
I've never been there, so no.
Oh, okay. You'll see
There's
that
a big
they have
monument.
There's not only a big monument that from the top looks like an X, and it actually has the word cease, and it has double omegas, but also they have the teepee set up from back where everybody hid in the teepees. All the tarps are gone, but they actually have all the teepees like lined up in the
a certain way.
So look that up.
Okay.
That up. It's all coming. I mean, we're gonna
it's all coming together.
Have a crowd. Yeah, somebody's gonna get it this year.
But has anybody found where warm waters halt and the 9 clues actually lead them to the medicine wheel? I mean, I haven't been able to actually put the clues together to lead me there. But what if you do put the correct 9 landmarks together, it leads you there, and this is a confirmer of the end spot. To me, that would be pretty interesting.
Hey, Paul, why don't you come on next Monday?
There's a dream catcher on Forrest's pant leg, like a wheel in the Thrill of the Chase. A dream catcher is kind of a wheel, isn't it? I mean, it's circular, the way they hang them and stuff. But
maybe. Yeah.
All right, everybody. This is what I want everybody in the chat room to do. A scale of 1 to 10. 1 being this is total BS. 10 being it's right. It has to do with the solution. Where are you guys on 1 to 10? So just put in a number. 1, it's total coincidence and stupid.
Or no,
10.
There's something to it.
Yeah, not that it's right. Not that it's a solution,
if it's not
but
their location, they're
okay.
gonna rule it out. But
Let me change the scale. 1, it's total coincidence. 10, it looks intentional. We have no idea how to use it or what it refers to, but 1, total coincidence. 10, it looks intentional due to the pattern of some of the things I've. Yeah, I see some low numbers.
Okay, I'm gonna.
And that's fine. Everybody's got their own opinion.
I would have said something different before, but interesting.
But if you've talked to people and their solution has something to do with a wheel, isn't that kind of crazy? That's the message in the poem?
I am looking for the people that I have talked to.
All right, we got a 5, we got a 7, we got a 7, we got a 10 from Treasure Getter. All right. The answer is always 42. Good one, AJ.
There are a few that a negative.
0.
10, but I'm high. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I was gonna say, and there's a bunch of people silent right now that I know. Right. So, and nobody wants to.
Copper Dan said 017. You and the coins, Dan. That's funny.
Yeah. So
okay, 10. Here's another one. How many people in the chat have never heard of this before? Say yes if you've never heard of this before. I was just wondering if it's new to you, or you've heard try the wheel and on a forum somewhere and you didn't know like where it was from. But if you've never ever heard the try the wheel or this message or anything, put a yes in the chat. I'm just wondering how many people it's new to them.
Okay, I'm the only one that said yes.
Right. Probably a 2.
I didn't know.
Paul, you just said it was your solve. What? I think he's trying to throw everybody off.
Yeah, I've seen a few things that I've talked to some of the tubers, and I believe I know because they've walked me through part of their solve. And then when they get on, they're like, and their WWWH is a pink cup, and they're like, it's nothing related to pink or a cup, and I'm like, but it's a pink cup. So I think there's a little bit, because second place is first loser. This is a competition, so that's why I like about this. It might not be the right solve, and even if it's mischief, it gets us thinking. It gets our brain thinking in a different way.
It's fun. It's fun to talk about it. I think. I mean, some people might like, oh, this whole video was a waste of time, but to me, it makes you think different things. Isn't that what Forrest said? You have to think different things. Use your imagination.
Yep. Yep, I agree. So, okay, so the takeaway I have from tonight is Mike's going to have available within a week and a half the maps for everybody to buy before Christmas. That's the big takeaway from today.
And then we'll let the secret out that you might be able to get with those maps. We'll
secret!
After Thanksgiving, maybe Thanksgiving weekend. We'll
it's very exciting, and there is somebody in the room that knows it, and so I'm glad that you're keeping. There, two can keep a secret if one of them is dead, and we're both alive, and so I'm really glad that you are keeping a secret as well.
So Matt, yes, I have decoy. Somebody says it wasn't decoy at your place, so they must not have watched videos for a while. I do have decoy. He needed a place to hang out, so there he is, hanging on the wall right there. But he may end up somewhere else. You never know where decoy is going to go.
Yeah, Decoy ended up being single, and he left me and he went to Mike's because he's single. And it was really cool when this initially happened. Sasha had said, we were over at Cynthia's, and she's like, let's rotate him around to different tubers and all that. And I love that idea, so I gave him to Mike, and we're going to see what happens as his life evolves. He's going to have a girlfriend soon, and that's going to be exciting in itself. And so,
wait,
and then
decoy or me? What was that? Decoy, right?
Decoy. I don't know about you, Mike.
I'm going to try the wheel. That's what I'm going to be doing. Maybe he means a four-wheeler. We're supposed to be out there in a four-wheeler.
Decoy is gonna. I think. Well, Decoy is gonna have a girlfriend's name soon. Whether he meets her and all that evolves, we'll see. And maybe next year we'll have Decoy and the girlfriend's poster, and then there'll be two of them. And we'll let that evolve as it goes. We're not pushing it. We're gonna let it take its time and evolve.
All right, so I'm going to steal Sean Dotson's idea right now. Sean had the round table, right? He had the round table, and all the YouTubers could give a response. So all the YouTubers, I want to know what they think of the Try the Wheel Wyoming, Montana message. So everybody that posts videos, just do a response video and just put "Try the Wheel Forrest Fenn" in the subject line or something. So hey, Sean, Paul, that was a great idea, the round table. So I was just wondering what everybody thinks.
Paul, send this to Shannon. See what Shannon thinks. And
I didn't Shannon's not watching. What?
No, Shannon's getting. She's busy. She's getting ready for a wedding.
Oh, okay.
Bachelorette party.
I'm seriously going to make a Try the Wheel T-shirt, everybody. I want to see if anybody would buy one. Try the Wheel, WIMT.
Yeah. Well, and we need to do a shout out to Boomer Girl. Who's coordinating the Vegas for people that are in Vegas or around Vegas for Thanksgiving? Yeah. They're doing a. They're
that's right. I did mention. I did say I was going to mention.
Paul laughed. He's like, I didn't know it was a hookup. Yeah, it's a hookup in Vegas because that's what you do in Vegas. The thing. Yeah, I don't know. Mike knows more than I do. Go ahead, Mike.
So, Connie Wilmeth, which a lot of people know, and Boomer Girl Mary, they're both going to be out here on Thanksgiving Day. And then what they said was Friday morning, the day after Thanksgiving, they were going to do a buffet breakfast at 9:30 a.m. I want to say at Flamingo. I can't remember which. I think it was at the Flamingo. Yeah. So if anybody's in, there's a lot of people that live here in Vegas. If anybody wants to make it, I don't know if I can make it yet. I'm going to let them know, but I don't know if I'm going to have my boys yet or not. So it's kind of I'll try and make it if I can, but anybody else that's in Vegas, email Mary or Connie, and it's kind of like a meetup, kind of like an informal meetup, but maybe we can talk about Try the Wheel. You never know.
Okay, now we can't get too much. Okay, that's the one thing.
What?
This is the first thing that I've seen you super excited about. That's awesome.
It just
we can't just fixate on this. We have to have.
I know. Yeah. Now, if it said try the coin, I'd really be excited, but try the wheel. So. But to me, it just looks like a pattern. It looks intentional. If it was coincidence, it seems to me it would be all over the place. Maybe it's just me, though. I know how as humans, we see patterns everywhere. So,
well, and we complete sentences and we complete things based on our perceptual lens.
And David brought up the Jingle Bell Rock. So right now there is a Jingle Bell Rock viewing party, and I'm going to assume that Decal is there because he usually gets a picture for the rock and puts it on his website. So after Thanksgiving is when the Jingle Bell Rock clues start, and I'll be making a vlog. I'll be out there looking for it. So you guys subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you click that bell because you never know when I might want to go live and talk about Try the Wheel again.
I'm a little bit more you can tell single mom here that has to schedule everything. I'm like Monday night at 9 p.m.
Yeah, right.
And Mike's like, whenever.
Let's just do it. I may not be able to sleep one night and I'll just go live. So if you click that bell, you're supposed to be notified. And also the Grand Adventure, Cowlazars Grand Adventure on Facebook. I post it there when I'm going to go live. So. And
Mike has some silver coins, and he's developing a couple of Grand Adventures. And you're going to see some other people that are going to develop some things too. Denise, you have until Monday. We have about for Decoy's girlfriend's name that'll be announced on Monday. We have about 10 or 15 submissions. We have a front runner, but we do not have a winner yet. So you can still email me at kpro3@aol.com. Colin, where did the maps come from? Forrest Fenn. The ones that are back that we're going to be selling came from Forrest Fenn. The rest of them back behind you, you got that from a searcher, right, Mike? That big one that's back behind you.
What big what? Big map?
The big map.
No, I printed that out.
The other one, the other side of. The other side.
Oh, yes, Brad sent me that. Brad sent me the map, and that was, everybody that participates in the new Grand Adventure, which will be for the silver coins, I'll mark it on the map. And that's going to be a totally armchair hunt for those who can't go boots on the ground to find the silver coins. And I'll just put it out there right now that coin 50 is going to be, silver coin number 50 is going to be the prize for the Grand Adventure. And the Grand Adventure is going to be totally free. The videos will be made available for everybody, and you may be the only person on the planet to own Forest Fen Searcher Coin 2019 number 50. So.
Jana, we are still trying. She asked where did we land with the poker tournament. We have the 2 dates. I will say, I think it was 6 to 8 up on Thor. So it sounds like both of them. Mike's going to go hit a couple of the casinos.
Next week.
I mean, sorry, Mike, you're going to have to hit a casino.
Yeah.
And he's going to go and ask them what are our different options of maybe they have a preference, or so we should know probably that same time that the maps are going out. We're going to announce when the poker tournament's going out, or when the poker tournament has been scheduled.
Well, yeah, definitely. And the casino might be like, no, this is the date you have to do it on. So, it might not be totally up to us. We got to find out. But like I said, I have time off for Thanksgiving, so I plan on going over there when I take a break from the maps to go talk to them and find out how the process would work. I mean, and
Mike.
How many people responded on Hint of Riches about the date?
Well, the hard part was I let them pick both if they wanted to. So there has been 14 responses total. So
if we get 10 people to show up, 14, that'd be fun. I mean, that's a tournament.
I think there's 10 people in. You know what? Even better, because if we get some cool prizes, I'm up for winning.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But I don't think, like Copper Dan, I know you're registered, but I know you haven't been on Thor in a while. So I know Copper Dan. So I think we're going to probably have about, I don't know. Yeah. I think we probably have 20, 25. But our thought was too, what does hookup mean? I'll let Mike answer that. So I think K-Poker, that's right, because I'm winning this year.
K-Poker, that's funny.
Yeah.
Mary's got to play because she's the champion, the event #1 champion. Covert won. I don't see you in the room, but you got to play because you came in second.
He said he wasn't sure if he was coming. I don't know.
It is a big trip for some people.
But but he's close enough, and him and D-Paul are friends. So I would think that, we'll see. We'll see who comes. But if not, if it's a small group, like I think the gathering next week is going to be maybe a dozen. Hey, that's cool in itself too. I mean, the Jamie drawing, everybody came together for a great cause, but just vacation in Vegas. If you don't like that, it's okay. I would love that you push it out to mid-February. Well, that might happen too. They may say to us, but then we get into March Madness, and then we get into
March Madness is crazy.
And then World Series of Poker, and then that's the hard part.
The hotel rooms skyrocket.
Yeah, and then we have different holidays. Like every weekend had something that we ruled out, and we narrowed it down to 2. And but anyway, we're going to try. We're going to try to hopefully get as many people there or accommodate as many people as possible. It wasn't a landslide one way or another.
What we'll probably do once we do have the date nailed down is we might ask people to reserve their seat. And we'll go into all that. But that way, because we're going to need to know how many people can make it. We can't really deal with, well, maybe I'll make it, maybe I won't. So we might ask people to reserve so they're verified they get in. But we'll get to all that.
Well, so what we're thinking is if we talk to the casino and they say, well, we're going to put 2 dealers on, you need to guarantee us 20, we would do pre-registration. And so it would guarantee your spot. You can still show up, but if there's not a spot for you, there's not a spot. And so if there's 20 people that want to buy into whatever the buy-in is, we would make sure that they definitely have a seat. So, and then the ones that wanted to just come and kind of off the cuff do it, okay. But that would help us figure out, are we looking at 10? All we need is 10 for one table. But could we have 40? Sure, but they would need a staff with poker dealers. So that's why we need to be fair to them. So that's what we were thinking. We're just brainstorming, just like we were brainstorming maps over the last couple of days, right, Mike?
That's right. How are we going to do it? Everywhere. So just because we're coming up on 2 hours, so
oh my gosh,
I'm going to put in Google Maps wheel Yellowstone. I want to see if something comes up. I never tried this before. Yellowstone National Park, because to me, Wyoming, Montana, the border is right there where Yellowstone is.
I thought we were winding down for content. No, you're right back in it. I can see you are focused.
Caldera Rim comes up. Is Caldera Rim isn't having to do with the wheel though, does it? And then Wagon Wheel RV Campground, but again, I don't think he's going to use a business. Like there's Free Heel and Wheel, a bike shop. I don't think he's using any of that. Now the Caldera Rim, I don't know why that comes up when I put in wheel, but I'm sure people are going to look into it. I know I will. So All right, everybody.
Yeah, Dev, JB, we are going to do it officially in a casino. It makes it all legit.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about permits and gaming boards. And we've had enough interaction with gaming boards lately that or what was it, gaming, but whatever board it was. No, we're going to make it all legit. And we'll add some supplemental prizes, but we're not going to be, it's not going to be mic dealing and all of that kind of
Right.
stuff.
No, it'll be through the casino, and they're going to pay out all the money, just like, or they keep their cut of the buy-in, and they pay out what they normally do, just like if you were to go and play a tournament, on the strip. Paul has a question. He says, I got my $20 question, the super chat. He said, did Forrest Fenn say if you know exactly where it is, you could get it in any weather? I remember him saying if you knew exactly where it was, you could probably get it in any weather. Mm-hmm. So take from that what you will. But yeah, I believe he did say that.
Paul, take the off season off, though. We all know exactly where it is, and we can all be dangerous. Don't do it. Just go relax.
The problem is you don't know exactly where it is. You think you do, but we really don't.
Yes.
So.
But did he say that? He said something similar to that. But also he said something similar to that. Did you remember what he said about a month ago? Okay, it's time for everybody to stand.
Yeah.
Summarizing. Stand down. I went boots on the ground 2 weeks after that because I think he was saying stand down for the whole Rockies. The Northern Rockies were definitely under snow, but the Southern Rockies were not. But now I think all the weather's coming in. This is like, nationwide. We're seeing it's getting cold, everybody.
And last thing, I just thought of this. So, Paul, you just made me think of this. Forrest likes poetry a lot. He quotes that T.S. Eliot poem. And in the end, we will have ended where we started at the beginning. Isn't that a wheel? Try the wheels, kind of circular. Like maybe where Warm Waters Halt leads you in a circle back to where the treasure chest is. So I like that circular idea for the wheel. So I'll leave everybody with that. You got anything else, Christy?
No, I could probably grab TTOTC and get 27 other hints that relate to this. Right. Oh, there's a circle, and the circle is a wheel. And I liked the presentation you gave. The extra. You're stretching and you're stretching and stretching it. So, just in my opinion.
All right.
Good stuff. Good job, Mike.
Yeah, and this is just on the grounder. My opinion that it looks like a pattern. So tune in Monday night to the Raven's Nest. Maybe we'll have Paul on. Maybe we'll have a full panel that maybe wants to talk about Try the Wheel. We haven't thought about it yet, but we will figure it out by then. And hit subscribe and hit the button. And
how about I have an idea.
What?
Paul and Shannon.
But will they want to talk about their solution is the question. If this is an active solution that they're exploring, I don't know if they want to talk about it.
I think Paul, let's work some magic on Shannon. I'll talk to her, so I'll send her a quick text later too. I think that would be amazing.
Paul said if this is correct, it's harder than you think. And I agree with that. I don't think anything about this message is simple. I think this is just the beginning. So I definitely agree with that. But Wyoming, Montana, borderline biddies, I think he's given us maybe a starting point somehow, some way. Something to do with the border. Yellowstone's right on the border. I know that's a popular area. And doesn't the Madison and the Fire Hole, where everybody thinks we're Warm Waters Halt, doesn't that lead out of Yellowstone right across the border? Just thoughts. These are just thoughts I'm throwing out there.
And around we go for the next 4 months, 5 months, 6 months.
So Paul said he'll talk about the edges. So, all right. The aberrations that live out on the edge.
Hey, Paul, are you sure? You're not just teasing us. You're coming back on Monday, right? You're coming on? Anybody
that's interested in coming on the Raven's Nest Monday, let K-Pro know, and she'll decide who she wants to have on.
Yeah, but if you do want to be, so what I do is I have it's very much like Toby. I have a standard email and I shoot it out to everybody, and the first to respond are on the panel. So this one will be a little different since Paul and Shannon have some things to say. We'll give them priority, but if not, just let me know if you would like to get on that list. And I do have to say this last week was amazing because I sent the email out and within 5 minutes the panel was full. So when you get an email, you've got to respond quickly. Usually it takes a few days, but people were really interested in it was the 2 cars. This wheel one, even if you don't like it, come on and say you don't like it and tell us why.
Yeah, shoot it down. Right.
Yeah, it's not a right or wrong answer. So
really the question is it intentional or not? I mean, that's what it boils down to. Did Forrest Fenn plan this, or is it just straight up happenstance and coincidence? Every word is deliberate. It took them 15 years.
Maybe you should ask the Phantom.
if he likes crossword puzzles, because to me that is a crossword puzzle solution. So
Maybe you should.
maybe
you
I
think
should.
it's a Phantom answer, Mike.
Right. All right, everybody. You got anything else, Christy?
I got nothing. I'll see y'all on Monday, and I can't wish you a happy holidays yet because I'm going to see you before that.
Yeah, Monday on the Raven's Nest. And maybe we'll talk about this. Maybe we'll talk about something else. It's up to Christy. So we'll see what the response is to this stuff. Thank you, everybody, for the super chats. I do appreciate it. And I will not be on next Thursday because it is Thanksgiving. I don't think I'm going to be on, but we'll figure that out next week. So email me what you think about Try the Wheel. Cowlazars@gmail.com. All right. That's it.
Bye.
Everybody's going to be up late thinking about Try the Wheel. Bye, everybody.